What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs Morning Drive Live Show. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by the ever so lovely and cute Mr. Casey the Man Plot.
All right, thank you very much, my friend. It's a pleasure as always to be here with you, especially on this wild Friday morning as we begin yet another adventure in the storied tale of the Scene Snobs.
Yeah, you know what? It's a different show. It's morning. You're absolutely so. It was so trippy this morning waking up. So I wake up, I guess, around 5:30, 5:20, 5:30, around there. I'm like, all right. I was gonna go back to sleep till about 6, but I wanted to go out, get coffee, get the morning paper and such. And we had been talking about it. So I went. So I just got up. I got ready, shower, changed, everything. Leave, head over. I go into the local paper. Now, anybody who knows, I live in a very small town in Virginia. Mm-hmm. It is a small town. I love it. I'm happy at that fact. But when you walk into what is a pretty big, they call it Handy Mart here. I don't know if that's everywhere, and we're national, so some people may not know that. But it's called the Handy Mart here, and it's a big place. I mean, they have everything. And it's
Handy Mart is a very leading name, isn't it? Like I felt like the Handy Mart is a place that you used to go as a teenager and be like, I'm hanging out with my girlfriend and we're gonna go to the Handy Mart, right? Right? You get it.
I was a loser, so I don't get it. Actually, I want to see if this, because the sun is coming out, so now I don't need that. No, but so I walk in, and the greatest sign for me when I walk into a place like that I know I live in like a small, quaint town, is that they have live bait. It's like this pristine, clean, they take care of it, Handy Mart, and then they have a live bait like refrigerator. So I was like, yes. You know what they don't have, Casey?
I'm going to say they don't have Tums.
Anything but the local paper. So I went in, I grabbed 2 local papers. It's like, hey, do you have anything more national? And no, we don't get that here. I was like, all right. So I went, got my coffee, got my donuts for the kids, and rolled out.
Amazing. So no national papers, no USA Today, no New York Times, no Washington Post, nothing.
No, I pulled them up though. We'll have stuff to talk about because I definitely read some stuff. Like I got the New York Post up on the screen. Listen. I know everyone that I could just pull it up. It's not a matter of the inconvenience of it. It's the funniness of it that I like holding a newspaper. I want to open it up. Like,
yeah, absolutely. It's nice to have that physical, tactile thing. The newspaper. It's something that you could also, if you have some silly putty, you could transfer some of it to it.
That's true. I mean, the number one reason you got anything in publication is silly putty.
Naturally.
But the second reason is just to read something that's just a little more physical, just kind of within your help.
Rather than being on your phone all the time. We're always on our phone all the time. It's nice to be able to have something physical. And there's something about being able to flip it open and really snap it when you open it up. And then you have to make a grunt as you open the paper. And that makes you feel like a man.
But it's true. But if I didn't go and get these papers, I would have never known that a Winchester man from Winchester, Virginia, back in 2017 was arrested, I guess, recently for planting an explosive at a battlefield during a Civil War reenactment.
What in the world?
I've lived here at that time. So I don't ever remember that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but you'll like this. James Goodman of Front Royal follows through on his Frisbee goal toss at Shenandoah County's Limestone Ledges Disc Golf Complex in Morristown There's so many words I don't know in there. On a fall morning, the site offers 3 courses of variety of players.
That sounds awesome.
You're a disc golf guy.
I do love my disc golfing. And now that I'm up all crazy early and everything, it means by 10:30 I should be on the course, just flicking them today.
Disc golf there's a curve thrown in there for me because it makes no sense in my life.
Okay.
But I like watching it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like fishing. I hate fishing. I don't ever want to go fishing. It's the most boring thing on the planet.
Is it the live bait that bugs you? You don't want to kill the worms?
Well, here's the thing. With fishing, you always know what you're going to get. And I know how to do it. So don't give me don't give me that, anybody. And we will get to your comments soon. And please feel free to comment along. If you have topics you want us to talk about, things like that, that's what this is here for. This is an open forum. We don't have the call in yet, but one day we will.
One day.
But for me, I don't like fishing, but I love watching fishing on competitive fishing.
Do you really?
I nobody understands it. I will sit there for hours and watch competitive fishing. It is so fascinating to me.
What is it about competitive fishing that gets you all going, all fired up?
I have no idea, but every time I watch it, I'm like, I could do that. And it's like, but it's not a I'd be the best at that sort of situation while I watch it. It's really like I watch the guys, I know their teams. Like, I don't know it. It's like NASCAR. If you ask me who races, and I don't know, Stuart Gordon, Jeff Gordon, I don't know their names, whatever. But I know their teams, and like I know, like their stats and stuff like that. Well, not for NASCAR. That was just a comparison.
No, totally fair. I get that. It's pretty incredible that you know that. I'm an avid disc golfer, have been following it for years. And watching people change teams and change, because there are so many different corporations that give money, obviously, that sponsor these teams. So there's 4 main real like big groups out there. The Innova team, what is it? Now of course Discraft. I'm gonna miss most.
No,
of them
and I will vouch for you. Casey knows, so like
they're logged in there somewhere. MVP, like a lot of them are. They're in there, so it's pretty rad watching some of these people. And I've met some of them on the golf course, who I've actually watched play, who do tournaments locally. One of them who's actually one of the heads of one of the groups, the Nova Disc Golf Club. And it is a blast, man. I gotta say, you just meet some awesome people, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a really good time. Everybody's cool out there. Most people are hippies. You get the occasional crazy, like really into it professional trying, like look the part, go out with the collared shirt and, nice shorts and everything. And then you get me out there in like ripped up jeans and maybe a t-shirt that's halfway on because there's holes in it because I just play like a curmudgeon. It's way more fun that way. Just be gross.
It's probably because you just came from work.
Yeah.
I've torn some credit.
I've torn holes in my shirt because I'm like, why? I'm trying to Hulk, but I'm too weak. All I do is stretch my collar.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So real quick before we keep going, we do have some people here, and I want to like read and talk to them a little bit and say, hey, Paul Dunn's here. What's up, Paul?
Thanks for joining in, man. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. John Wass is here. Good morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Happy Friday to you too, sir. Liz, what's up, Liz? How you doing?
Good morning, Liz.
Good to see you. And Sturdy.
Morning, Sturdy.
Thanks for joining the show last night, Sturdy. We had such a fun time. It was our anniversary show last night.
And we were able to join Sturdy's show for a minute too, so it was kind of cool.
It was a Snobs verse. We had a Snobs verse crossover. Sturdy Snobs.
The Sturdy Snobs.
It was so funny. Fishing is great. You can take a 2-hour nap, accomplish nothing, and still call it a sport. Yeah. Well, not in competitive fishing. In competitive fishing, they're like they're like on the boat, and there's so many rules you have to follow.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Absolutely.
But I love it. I love the rules of that because they can't touch the boat. They can't touch. I don't know. There's so much. I'm there. I'll get there.
I'm very curious. Good morning, George.
Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy?
What's up? Good morning, Chris.
So George G3 says, damn sub bus driver decided to blow past our house. Bryce had to go chase the bus and he still didn't stop.
Whoa.
Jesus.
I mean,
Fire the
admittedly,
driver.
I've been there before. I've been that kid running, going, please, my mom's gonna be so mad. Please don't tell anyone I missed the bus.
Why don't you love me? Oh wait, no, that was my dad.
Different.
That was the wrong one. Sturdy says, oh, I had a blast, and again, congratulations on 3 years on the new show. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And yeah, and this is our new morning shows, Friday mornings, 7 to 10 a.m. If you guys like it, you watch it, it becomes really popular. We may go to more days.
Yeah, we may try and just keep going. And yeah, it means we're gonna have to start falling asleep at normal hours, which is weird.
I gotta tell you, normally I wake up in the morning and I'm like a bag of cinder blocks trying to walk. Like just everything hurts and it really wants to hit the ground as hard as it can. Right. So and it sucks. This morning there was like a pep in my step. Like normally, like I have to lift myself out of the car because like my sciatic nerve is hit hard or my knees just don't want to work. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like you get stiff. So when I get so stiff, I just got to lift myself out. It's not all the time. Or going down the stairs just hurts.
Yep.
I woke up early this morning. I was feeling like I felt good. Like I kind of rushed down the stairs. I jumped out of the car. I was like moving all around. I felt really good. I was like, maybe we need to switch to mornings.
This is honestly like a Christmas show time for me. Like I have that feeling of like, oh, I'm so excited. Like it's a new gift, a new present. This is the coolest. I mean, because I was up at about 5:15, woke up to Tina Turner's The Best and just laid and listened to the whole song because I really love that song.
That is a great song.
Especially waking up to it. It's like, oh yeah, this is cool.
And we have a list of Friday songs. Let's get into it. So
let's do it.
We were talking about Friday like music, like what really sparks you on Friday, and or even mornings. It doesn't have to be Fridays, but like Friday is kind of what we're going with because of course the show. And the one that jumps out to me is Semi-Charmed Life.
Really?
I love that song. I know what it's about.
Meth.
The irony here is not lost on me, but it's got a great beat. It really peps you up. It's got the nostalgia behind it now.
Yep.
If you don't think about the horrific things that the lead singer has done to women, you can really get behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge fan, and that's actually off of one of my favorite albums of all time, the Third Eye Blind self-titled album. Those last 4 songs are amazing. The story he tells, every song on it to me is a hit, especially Graduate. That's another great one. So excellent choice. Semi-Charmed Life. Yeah, that's a good morning. It's a good way to wake up.
What do you got for me? Give me one.
Okay, so one of my first ones, and it took me a minute because this morning, like I said, I woke up to Tina Turner. I've got a lot of other things going like through my head, and all of a sudden, 4 Non-Blondes, What's Up, was the one that caught me this morning. It was the one that grabbed me, and I was like, ooh. Ooh, and it just kind of broke me up to that next level. It brought me out of my funk and my sleep and haze. It was wonderful.
I'm wondering. So I'm drawing a blank, and I can't play it for you right now. So is it that the one where they're like, how's it start?
I wake in the morning and I step outside. I take a deep breath and I get real high.
Yes, that's the He-Man song, isn't it?
I don't know. Wait, what?
Yeah. Well. Okay, so years ago, no, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one. But I think it is a 4 Non-Blonde song that he sings, and it's like when I wake up in the morning and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's the song.
That's the song.
And somebody did it to He-Man.
Oh wow!
And I wonder
that is not the one we have. I actually posted my 2 songs this morning into our Discord chat, so the Snobs Nation can wake up and tune in. And as you are slowly rolling, you can crank it.
You know what? It's so funny. I'm surprised you don't remember this video. It came out years ago, and it was actually kind of funny because I remade this song back in the day. So my buddy Brian, from who I host Pulling Focus with, I sent him something, and he sent me back an audio message that's said, I have made a huge mistake, right? And it was hilarious because it was so deadpan. So I took that audio and I took it to that song. So it would sing the song, but every time the hook hit, I switched it out for Brian saying, I have made a huge mistake. I'm not doing it justice, but it was funny. I'm going to see if I can play this real quickly. For non-blondes, please don't get mad at us. I just want to show them the He-Man side of things. Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready. Slack Circus.
Turn down real low just in case.
Today I held aloft my magic.
Yeah, this is it, right?
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
It's a whole video. Like if you go
it is
through
a whole video.
So and it's hilarious, and it became. I think they did it. Remember when they did that grocery commercial where they had Skeletor and He-Man running around?
Yeah, many moons
I think
ago.
they played that song during it because that song became so synonymous with He-Man.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. That was not the connection I was planning to make, but I'm happy I made it.
Yeah, I mean, you would think Friday mornings, or you think just the mornings waking up, but now you're wrong. It's just He-Man.
No, it's He-Man. In fact, this is not a wake-up song. This is a He-Man song. So, yeah. But don't worry, She-Ra counts in that too. All right, we're not excluding anyone.
True. I would never discount She-Ra. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely not. She's
Equality,
the princess of power, bro.
Equality and Eternia the whole way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I do believe that, but I don't know why I'm laughing because it's Friday. It's Friday and I feel good.
It's Friday morning. So what's your second song, brother?
Well, I'm going to go to the nighttime. It's Friday night and I feel all right.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Montel Jordan.
This is how we do it?
Yeah.
Strong.
It's a good one for Fridays.
Strong.
It can get you sparked. You're like ready to roll. It's
Absolutely.
crazy. And I want to hear everybody else's. So sound off in the comments. Stop talking about the bus incident.
Paul actually brought up the Akasha Strain off the album It Comes in Waves. Good jam.
The Akasha. Wait, is that for non? I don't know music as well as you do. I know songs I like. That's it. I don't know lyrics or anything.
And a lot of it is Bruce Springsteen. So
no, that is true.
If it's a band from Jersey, you probably know a lot about them.
100%. Or the Rolling Stones. I do love
the Stones because everyone should know the Stones.
Yeah.
That was actually one of mine this morning that I thought about putting on. I didn't actually go with it because I felt like Beast of Burden wasn't quite morningish enough. You know, it was a little slow, it was a little chill. It still kind of kept me in that slow mode. So I had to kick it up a notch and go to a different song. And my second one was actually Every You, Every Me by Placebo.
Give me the hook because I can't remember it.
Sucker love is heaven sent.
Still don't know it.
Okay, fair enough.
Again.
But there's nothing left to do. Every me and every you. So yeah, it's pretty great jam. One of my favorites. You can check it out in the Discord.
Yeah, it is on the Discord. So we do.
Yep.
And I have to thank Dan and Tim for that because they really cultivate it really well, and everybody adds to it, so it's really good.
And Liz and everybody else who's part of it. We appreciate y'all.
Enough ass kissing. Oh wait, I put up the wrong thing. It is our 3-year anniversary, but it is not our special. It's early. I forgot to make. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot to make a. There we go. A graphic for the morning show. So next week we'll be on top. But today I'm a little out of it.
Well, today's us kind of knocking the rust off. We had that big show last night. We're still trying to figure out who we are on this morning show and get our rhythm. So even though we are repeating something we've done in the past, which is a 3-hour show, which we used to have no problem being able to just muddle through and talk. It's been nice to have a little more tightened shows. So the traditional hour to hour and a half shows that we do, pretty awesome. So this is a return to form of a very different form. So we're going to see how it goes. So, we appreciate all of you waking up with us and hope you're ready to muddle through a few hiccups here and there. But we are definitely bringing some quality entertainment your way.
Well, that's the thing. When we did because Mystery Elephant always ran into like 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the one that was written. Scene Snobs was always at most an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And we always tried for an hour.
Right.
But when we did the hour and a half for Scene Snobs for Mystery Elephant, or no, 3 hours. 3 hours for Mystery Elephant. That was literally just the three of us talking. Like we had nothing formulated.
Nothing.
We just went into it. We even had phones out looking things up just so we could talk more. And we were able to do it. We did a good job with it. But you and I, like Casey put together a whole like spreadsheet of things and stuff like that I went off of when I was looking for stuff. And we talked last night. Like we met, like we actually planned. Sorry, George, you weren't in on that meeting last night. So John says, I have to be at work at 7 a.m. Historically, Kathleen sleeps sleeping in until 9:10. Our daughter has to be to preschool by 8. Kathleen is not amused by the kid waking her up at 6:15 daily. That is not going to stop for a while.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. And now my daughter's hit that 8 to 9 year old where the body is growing a lot more. So she is like starting to sleep in more, and I'm like, well, that's weird. It'll be like 8:30, and I'm like, my child is not awake yet. I start running in and checking if she's breathing again now.
Like, I get that
I've
too.
Circled back to that, like something you did when she was an infant, and you're just like, oh my God, this is the first kid. Are they going to stay alive? How does this work? Is she breathing? And you check every hour. Well, now every hour past 7, or every minute past 7, I'm like, are you all right? Is she okay?
Yeah, I get that because I have a son same age as your daughter, and it's the same thing. Like he just wants, like even when we wake him up, he just kind of rolls over and wants to sleep, and it's like I'm not used to that because my youngest is 6, and he still comes in our bed. Like I'll give it to him. He's very respectful. He comes in at like 7, and he hops in the bed, and he's like, "I'm just gonna lay with you guys, but it's time to get up."
Yeah.
So he's probably freaking out, like, "Where's Dad?" But he, because he knows I'm doing a show, but like,
you're not there.
Remember.
Absolutely, he's freaking out. I would.
He's like, "What? I can't go in there. He's doing a show. Till when? I have to go to school."
I'll be
like, I'm literally just gonna look out the window and say, "Hi, have a good day. I'm gonna miss you."
Aww.
No, but Paul says, "I'm sorry, that's messed up for the bus driver." It is. That is messed up. Although, and again, this is not the offense of the bus driver. I think it's a rite of passage in some ways because, like Casey had said, dickhead bus drivers are a real thing. And they leave you like, because I've had it too. Well, here's the thing. All right, this is going to be so arrogant, and I don't know if I want to go there, but people really liked me because I was charming when I was younger. And it was genuine. It didn't come from a place of like, I'm going to trick this person. But like the lunch ladies loved me. They always made me egg salad sandwiches like once a week because they knew I loved them. Special. They didn't make it for anybody else. Like they would make it at home and bring it in. The bus driver would come and pick me up in front of my house. My sister had to walk to the bus stop, but I got to get picked up because she had to come that way anyway, and she knew it. And I would just stroll outside and she'd pick me up. And then like we'd go to the first bus stop, which is where my sister and the rest of the people were. And they would be so pissed and they would wonder why. Or if I happened to be walking to the bus stop, like, and I was running late and I was behind, she would stop and let me on, then drive up to the bus stop.
Strong.
So I can't commiserate with you, George or Casey. Because people just love McManhattan so damn much.
Totally fair. Totally fair. I mean, that was the way I was able to stay on the bus when my bus driver would reach the bus stop and my mom wasn't there. It's like 1st and 2nd grade. I would freak out and be like, oh my God. And they'd be like, you could just walk up the hill. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Because I didn't get dropped off right at my house. I had to walk up the street. So it was like an extra, mile up the road. So I freaked out and I would instead be driven back to where the bus office was. And that was like, 45 minutes away. Because we lived in the backwoods of Connecticut.
That's true. And there were, and I'm surprised they left you there because there was like 3 students in the school.
So it's true. No, there'd literally be like 4 kids on the bus. And that, I was one of the last ones at that point. So
my favorite thing about Casey, is if you talk to Casey, and I'm not talking to you, buddy, I'm talking to the world right now.
Oh yeah.
If you talk to Casey, the guy is cultured. He's smart. He understands a lot. He's worldly. He can have a conversation about anything. You would not believe he was from the backwoods of a farm.
Yeah.
And I always forget that because, he was in the Air Force, he went places, he did things. So when I'm talking to him, sometimes we were driving from North Carolina once, and he was explaining to me the difference of cows. And I'm
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
and I'm like, why the hell do you know that? And he's just like, well, I grew up on a farm. And I'm like, I forgot that. I forgot that
Grew up on
happened.
a farm. Actually, my high school, we were a big FFA high school. That was a big part. That was like half the high school, man. So I was a major part in the FFA, did their forestry, and that's what I wanted to go to school for, oddly enough. I loved it.
What
So I
is
used
an
to climb
FFA?
trees. Future Farmers of America.
See, I got no idea. I grew up in a concrete jungle, dude. I don't know.
That's
You know-
fair. Yeah. I mean, you grew up in a concrete jungle where I was legitimately planting trees as part of my class. Like that was.
We were not. There was
We
a
were
very big
very
difference in what
different.
we were doing. We were surviving, and that's not.
And it was surviving those mean streets of JC.
Listen, I got robbed once, and I was in the 4th grade, like straight up.
And it wasn't lunch money, Robin. It was.
Did I ever tell you that story? I wish one of my brothers were here to help back me up on this because they think it's the funniest thing on the planet. So, I went to the school, St. Paul's. It is in the city. I wish I had pictures of it. It looked like a prison, but it was a school. It was a Catholic school, and people would rob you because it's right in the middle of the city. Like you're walking, and people would just rob you. And I got robbed once from my Chicago Bulls hat because I got a brand new Chicago Bulls hat. It's really nice. And I'm walking out. I was in the 4th grade. This dude rolled up on me. He was an adult man.
Yeah.
He rolled up on me, and he was like, run your hat. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm in the 4th. What does that mean? No, I didn't do that, but I'm terrified. My friends and I are terrified. He's like, run your hat, and he's coming at me. So I just handed him my hat. Completely terrified that this adult man. So what did I do the next day? I fell victim to this. What do you think? What do you think Little Mick Manhattan would have done the next day following up after being robbed and he had to go back to school?
I'm going to say wear a padlock on something weirdly.
No.
Brought a weapon.
Yep. This is the 80s. Don't worry about it. But so, all right.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't make it better. It's the 80s. It's fine. Shooting for real rampant. I mean, we just stabbed the shit out of them. Well, you had clue weapons because at least clue made you realize that a candlestick holder could be a weapon.
No. That's not what I did. So here's what I did. So if you go back and I grew up in Jersey City, which is right across the water. Like literally the Statue of Liberty is on our harbor. So it's like right across the water from New York. So if you watch any New York movie in the 80s where it looks like it's terrifying, Jersey City was about just as terrifying, or if not more, because there was no fame to it, so nobody cared. So nobody was filming movies there. So I grew up in that, and it was horrible. So I went home, I got robbed. I came back the next day with a duffel bag and my books. I used it as my book bag, and I threw a baseball glove and a baseball bat in there. And I put it in. And when my teachers asked me, I was like, I have baseball practice after school. Mind you, this was November.
Oh, so definitely no baseball.
Definitely no baseball practice. And then when we got out of school and I'm wearing a different hat, and I'm sure one that people didn't want to steal, like a Scene Snobs hat. Scene Snobs merch.com. Snobsmerch.com. So I pulled the bat out and was walking with it, and I'm just like, who wants to steal my hat now? It was like a scene from The Warriors, but it was a 4th grader doing it.
Just smacking your bat down the hallway locker,
my bat down on the
just
concrete.
going down the concrete on the road. And just
Sometimes
make that tong, tong.
Hey, sometimes you got to go. But that's what growing up was for me.
Wow. Yeah, no, very different. See, you had a Chicago Bulls hat taken from you. I had an actual bull chase me. So that would be more my morning. I don't know if it's cooler, man. Have you ever had a bull chase you? It's not really great. I mean, you'll definitely be awake. There's no doubt about that. Be like, I was just feeding you. Like, try to throw down hay from the loft and have one bale not quite open right. And I'm like, oh, I got to go down and split it. So I go down and start splitting the bale. And all of a sudden, you see off in the distance, it's coming. Here he is, Jason the Bull's charging. And it's like, okay, well, let's, I hope everybody's good. Ah!
That is so much better of a story, though. Like, I got to go to school, and this bull starts chasing you.
Yeah. Or the worst was one of the cows would get out in the morning. So you wake up in the morning and there's a cow just in the middle of the road, just hanging out. And it's like, great. All right, man. I always have to like guide her back, because most of those were the girls who would get out. That Jason always stayed in his area. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was scared of the world. That's why bulls get mad, is because they're just terrified of everything. Because, I mean, think about it. Everything's trying to either take their balls or take their horns or take their meat. So they don't really have much else to provide.
No, they really don't. Or their semen. You forgot their semen.
Oh, no, part of the balls. Yeah. You're right,
okay,
though.
okay,
Because someone could just be, whacking them off and try to get another cow pregnant. I mean, sure. Happens.
When I realized that that's how it works, it messed me up for a while. They should. I watched Yellowstone, and there was a scene in this past season of Yellowstone where Jimmy, the character on the show, had to put the sleeve on the horse's dick, and I'm like, I can't even talk about it. I'm still a little messed up over that.
It's just, it's the way of life. It's nature.
I know, but that's not nature. That is not nature.
Look, if human beings whack off as much as we do, you don't think other animals feel great masturbating?
Oh, I get. No, putting a sleeve on it is not nature.
Sure it is.
No, it's how we do it. It's human nature.
It's like a fleshlight for bulls. It's perfect.
Oh, boy. All right. We lost a viewer, so we need to stop talking about bull semen.
That's fair.
No, Paul Dunn says, wifey says, good morning.
Good
morning, Sam. Chris says, after last 16-hour shift, my ride home needs to be goofy so I can sing as loud as I can and wake up for the ride home.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. Safety dance, men in hats. I like that choice. Men without hats.
That's a great one. I am a huge fan of the safety dance.
That is, you can dance. I love this. I love the Homer Simpson one when he just starts singing. Is everybody look at their pants, and he just stares at his pants and it freezes. It's perfect. John Watts says, my wake-up music is usually something heavy and fast along the lines of Tyrannus by Pictus, or I have no idea what you just said, or Master of Puppets. I do know that. I want to charge out, tackle the day, and then collapse into a bed 17, 18 hours later. What do? Are you the bull semen guy?
No, 17 or 18 hours. It's about right. It's about how long we usually push it.
Yeah, farms suck. I'm sorry, dude. It's just too much work. That's just too much work.
Farms are awesome, man. That was part of the joy of it. As long as you have the equipment to make it work, it's a blast. Like in a big old brush hog, knocking out stuff, fixing fences, doing hay, feeding animals. It's sometimes milking in the morning. It's not that much work.
Casey's worked with me for years now, right? So he understands that I am a hard worker, and I will work long hours.
Absolutely.
Both in the physical sense, like when we worked at the data center together, or I don't shy away from hard work, or like with the Scene Snobs, what we do. But I don't believe in it. I don't believe in hard work. I'm like, that's too much. Nobody should be doing this much work. Nobody should be working for 12 hours a day, go like crazy. We should be able to live normal lives. Like I'm a Marxist of my time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Kidding.
Whoa.
Kidding.
Whoa there.
Leninist.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. What are you talking about? There's barely any difference between the two.
I'm joking. I said it for the benefit of nobody.
I'm here for the people today.
Listen, if Casey knows anything, it's I hate Putin. So,
Yep.
So, like when it comes to work and stuff like that, I speak out against people working that like long hours, things like that, and really, like not the act of working. I understand like putting in a good day's work is important, but like working the long hours, stuff like that, overdoing it for very little pay.
It also depends on what you're working towards. Like that was the beauty of working on a farm, is you're working towards the things you get. I mean, you're taking care of other animals. It was wonderful.
Farms are just weird to me.
It was important. There's parts of that. You got to go to the garden every morning and make sure you check and make sure you grab stuff. You got to verify if there's anything eaten at the garden. You got to make sure your fence is up so that deer don't get in. Every bit of it. There's just a lot of fun stuff. And that's one of the things I enjoy about hard work or that labor is when you actually get something out of it that's tangible that you can get from that I do struggle with working for corporations where you're making other people gobs of money and you kind of sit back and struggle, to just put food on the table. So I do have a problem with that. That's kind of hard. And, but the farm is definitely calling me back here in my older age. As I see 40 approaching, I'm like, yeah, I could work on a farm again. That'd be great. Just spend the rest of my time just building for myself and my daughter. It'd be wonderful.
Nah, not me, man. I'm done. I don't want to do. I want to do this. So
I want to do this and farm. So basically, if we're good at this and successful here, then it allows me to go farm, and then I feel better about it.
Nah, leave the farming out. I'll just do this. Just do this. At most, light gardening.
Valid.
All right, let's see what everybody else is saying. Sturdy says, when I listen to songs in the morning, it's all DMX. Starts with Slippin', Exodus, Letter to My Son, That's My Dog, and then Bath Salts. I love that lineup.
That is a hell of a lineup, Sturdy. Because, I mean, look, DMX is strong in the morning. Yeah. That is going hard. Because, X is going to bring it to you.
But you can't. That can't be your wake up. That cannot be your wake up lineup. Because that's like, I'm going to go fight somebody now. Like, what do you do for work?
Sometimes you have to fight the day. You got to fight the day, bro. You got to wake up and you got to fight yourself. The part of you that's inside of you that's like, I don't want to do this today. You DMX the crap out of it and you shut him up and you threaten him in your mind, of course.
But I would listen to it at work. I don't know that I would listen on my way to work because then I'm just too angry.
Fair. Yeah, on my way to work, it's much more Fleetwood Mac. Usually, or more. I like my 70s hits on the way in, my golden oldies.
Oh my God, you Chicago bastard.
I love Chicago.
Sorry, missed that meeting. When those kids sleep, either way, they were later our growth spurt. Once they get that age, it's just crazy. I just called the school to let them know that he is going to be late, and they said they know who the sub is, and this is not the first complaint about him.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't doubt it. He's a bus driver.
Under the gun.
But good bus drivers are few and far between now because back in the day, you saw a bus driver, they had been doing it for years.
Oh, and they were awesome, man. I had some fantastic bus drivers who'd been around forever. Like, ones that like my stepfather was like, I remember them. And it's like, holy cow, like that's nuts.
Yeah.
Bus drivers have been doing it for 30, 40 years and we're great. But also took no guff. I love human beings that take no guff. Probably one of the reasons we're best friends, bro. The amount of guff you take is negative. So it's delightful.
Even when I'm wrong, I still take no guff. I don't care.
It's true. You are a guffless individual.
If I respect you, you'll get an apology.
That's true. I have been on the receiving end. It has taken a minute. It will take a while. It takes a little.
Because I'm fuming because I have to apologize because I'm like, I respect this person. They're owed an apology, and I believe in justice. So you'll get your apology, but I'm not.
He's never
not
pleased
happy about it.
It's never a joyful experience.
It's never, especially for my wife. She gets so mad and I don't blame her because I know I have to apologize, but I'm going to be a dick before I am.
Oh, yeah. It's the whole look. I know I'm sorry. I messed up. I can't do this right now.
It's never an actual apology. It's a recognition that I should be sorry.
I am aware that this is the moment when you would like an insert apology here. But guess
what?
I think
there's a level of stubborn in my family that is on such an epic. It's. I have to get it from both my mother and my father. It was like the merging of stubbornness in those two people created a life that is so stubborn. I don't know how, but here's the thing. It's only stubborn about certain things. If I was stubborn all the time, nobody would love me. And I
Oh
don't
no,
blame
that's
him.
very true. If you were super stubborn, we'd have issues. But
It's
you
so
know,
bad though.
you're good.
Uh,
You're stubborn like a bull, bro. I've dealt with bulls. I know how to handle this.
and I'll just chase you down for like 5 seconds, and I get tired, and then I'm like, "No,
Yep.
I'm gonna go away."
And then
Chicken
shakes his head and like
Treasure 3 says, "I would have chased him with Bryce, but I was in bed watching you guys." It's a good choice.
better choice.
It's a good choice. Let the kid chase.
Kids
That's
got to
all it is.
chase.
Busted. Oh, Jason Taylor, what's up,
Morning,
buddy?
Jason.
Thanks for joining in. I love that the Snobs Nation just in the comments welcomes each other. I can't wait till we have call-in method.
I know, right?
John Watt says, I grew up in the woods an hour north of Saginaw. I don't know what that is. My relatives
Saginaw. I believe it's a town.
I believe you. I believe that you are right. My relatives all lived in Detroit area, which I imagine is a battlefield. You got to imagine when people say Detroit to me, what I imagine. It's RoboCop.
It's RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Every time. It is still the same cars. They are Ford Tauruses that are just done up a little fancier, but it's still the exact same stuff all over Detroit.
There's 3 things you can know about me right now for a fact. You bring up that Four Non Blonde song, I'm thinking of He-Man.
Fair.
You bring up Detroit, in my mind, Detroit looks like it did in RoboCop.
Right there with you.
All the time. Clarence Bodiger is the worst person that lives there.
Absolutely. Ronnie Cox is second.
Yeah, but Ronnie Cox is awesome. No,
No,
because
he's an
Ronnie
amazing
Cox,
human, but
as
his
much as I
character.
love RoboCop, I associate him more. I know he's in the movie, but I don't associate Ronnie Cox with terrible CEO. That was just a good character.
Fair.
I associate Ronnie Cox. It's so weird how my brain works. With either Jellicoe, the greatest captain in Starfleet history.
Absolutely wrong, but yeah, continue on.
Or Bogomil from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, okay. Bogomil is definitely my number 2. That's where I would go to over that because he was a great chief, man.
Yep. Or Michael J. Fox's wife's father from Family Ties.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a stretch.
So
that one's not there for me.
For anybody who doesn't know this, Michael J. Fox was on Family Ties. You're weird if you don't know that, but we're all old, so I'm pretty sure you guys do.
Alex P. Keaton was in fact his character's name.
Yes, and on that show for a while, he had a girlfriend named Ellen, right? Who was played by, I can't remember her last name. Tracy is her first name, though.
Tracy Lords.
And Ronnie Cox played her father on the show. She left the show, and then Michael J. Fox was in a movie called Bright Lights, Big City. It's a great movie. Go check it out, everybody. Also, it's Keith Sutherland. But Tracy Pollan was her name. Okay. She also starred in that movie with Michael J. Fox. That was them reuniting again. And since that movie, they've been married.
Oh, snap. That's awesome.
So together. So when I think of Ronnie Cox, if it's not Bogomil or it's not the greatest captain in Starfleet history, Jellicoe, then it's Tracy Pollan's fake dad on Family Ties. My brain, when I watch Friday the 13th now, part 2, and I see Amy Steele, or April Fool's Day, when I see Amy Steele, I think that is who Alex B. Keaton lost his virginity to. My mind works by Alex B. Keaton and Michael J. Fox in such a weird way.
It is very strange how tight it is to Family Ties. It's like between Michael Gross, which I'm sure pops in there every once in a while.
Tremors.
I mean,
which makes me think of Reba, my favorite country singer.
Yep. Also, your favorite dog.
Yes.
Your favorite furry companion. Yes.
We did get a dog because her name was Reba. And Reba is not even just my favorite country singer, my favorite singer. Let's be real.
Valid.
I love Reba McEntire, which is a fact that still throws people off to this day. They're like, really? I'm like, yes. I cannot explain it. I love her music. I love her voice. She's on Big Sky season 3 now, and I'm loving every minute of it. Oh, wow. I love Reba McEntire, man. She's the best. She's
pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of her.
Spending a couple of weeks at Grandma's house in the summer was quite a culture shock. I spent most days at Grandma's house.
Well, I imagine it was a culture shock, John, because, I mean, you had to fight your way through Detroit. I mean, I can't even imagine what going to the store was like. There was a chance that, you know, Red Foreman would come out of nowhere and try to sell you drugs or mug you.
It's true. It's true. Good old Red Foreman. They're actually coming back with a new show, that 90s show.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty excited for it.
And everyone he's coming back except for the guy who supposedly raped some people, supposedly.
Who? What? Oh, Danny
Danny
Masterson.
Masterson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that guy. I don't know. I struggle with him. Not a big fan.
I
Scientology in general just bugs
me neither. I'm just not going to give him the time of day, but they are bringing the show back, and everybody but him is coming back. Kitty and Red are going to be the main characters in it,
Right.
and it's going to be Eric, and it's going to be all their kids actually.
Right.
And here's where I gain like even more respect for Mila Kunis, who I've always liked.
Mm-hmm.
She came out on an interview for the show and called BS and goes, because I guess because she's married to Ashton Kutcher in real life.
Right.
So they made them get like, okay, so Kelso and Jackie got together in that 90s show, and now they're married and have kids.
Which is awesome because in real life they are parallels.
Not if you're Mila Kunis, because when she was asked about it, she goes, no, it's BS, because if you watch to the end of the show, Jackie falls in love with Fez and should be with Fez now, not Kelso. This is BS. She's mad about it.
Really?
Yeah, I like not mad in a way, like mad.
No,
in
I
a way
get
that,
it,
like,
but yeah,
you're jokingly mad, but like she's like, whatever. I went along with it, but she's mad about it because she's like, it's inconsistent.
that's true. And her and Kelso, when they broke up, it was a great breakup. Them going through the process of trying to remain friends, of them kind of every bit that they added on top of that, with her still dating in the friend group and what a struggle that was. But it also wasn't, because Kelso was a man whore. So he would just bounce around anyway. So, I mean, I get it. It was good.
And it kind of makes sense because she was I think she was like 14 when that started.
Mm-hmm.
And her character like grew up around these men. Yeah. And the only one she didn't end up dating was Eric. But when she was single and each other one was, she was with them. But it makes sense because it's a small town. These are guys that you're growing up near, you're friends with, and things like that. You know, I kind of like that. And I like that she did end up with Fez. What? I don't know why I'm picking this apart.
Because it's the morning and it felt right.
It's true. This is a 3-hour show, and I keep looking at the clock, and I'm like, I don't know. I have plenty for the news hour, which is the 9 to 10, right. And in the middle, I have plenty of anecdotes and things to talk about because of your spreadsheet. But I'm like, the first hour's banter, and I'm like, I've done this for like 3 hours already this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why we have a schedule. That's why we need
no more double shows anymore. Happy anniversary. We're not doing it. Scene Snobs Tuesday, then this. I think that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday gives us enough time to have things to talk about.
Exactly, because trying to do shows every day, you lose things to talk about. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of great conversation to be had. And you and I also screw up by talking normally during the week. And eventually we jump into some story and it's like, wait, what are we doing? Save this for the show. We
were on this 20 minutes early and we were talking, and I said we need to save it, and we still haven't even talked about that thing.
Haven't brought it up yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's hit some more comments. Let's hit some more comments and see what's up.
Yeah, they're always good to help. Chris says, to be fair, did 4th grade Mick look like high school Kit?
No, he knows. Yeah, I'm saying high school Mick.
No, 4th grade Mick was tiny. He was a little guy. He was
like,
you know. Listen, everybody. This
is that what 4th graders look like?
Yeah, like little noodles. So
they don't know how to run yet. They've got one arm longer than the other one. Their body's growing weird. They got hips all offset.
It is, you know, like I was holding a baseball bat, but it was like, it's like one of those inflatable dancers. Yeah,
wacky wavy,
really tiny,
wacky wavy inflatable arm waving man.
And I want everybody to know that this gut. This is built in. I worked on this. Like this kid before. If you see pictures before like 2006, I had a 6-pack. I was I was a firefighter, and then before that I worked for the post office, and like I was a sports guy. So like I always played sports.
Bro, it's all good. That's what happens. You don't have to justify. Not justifying. You look fantastic.
What I'm saying is no, but it brings you back. I didn't look like a linebacker in 4th grade.
Fair, yeah.
I looked like a wet noodle. Like it is what it was with a mop on its head.
I looked almost exactly the same, just shorter and with more hair.
I've seen your pictures. 1,000% correct.
Do you know how hard it is being one of those people going back into town and people are like, Casey, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, what? Facebook has just allowed me to keep looking at people and going, okay, I got to remember what their faces look like in case I meet them in the wild. And I want to be able to say hey to people. I want to be able to like share stories and catch up.
Yeah.
So it's really a pain in the butt when I'm like, I don't know who this is.
Well, I was small too because I was 5'6" my freshman year of high school, and I was 6'1" my sophomore year of high school. That summer, I hit a high growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and I had a new haircut, and nobody recognized me or knew who I was. I was like, I can use this to my advantage. Like one of the best feelings in the world was I walked into school, I sat down, and a girl walked in and goes, "Who's that?" And they go, "Oh, it's Kimball." And she goes, "Damn." And I'm like, that feels really good. I was still
Hell
a
yeah,
loser.
man. Well,
Still
no, it's
straight
great.
up a loser.
Hey, well, same, bro. But to get a damn is a big deal. I don't think I ever got a damn.
And she was hot. She was hot. Like, so like it felt really good. I'm riding that high. Before one can fight a bear, they have to prove themselves by going cow tipping and having a successful sniper. I know I've seen that Cheers episode. You're not tricking me.
No, it's good stuff. And as far as the cow tipping goes, no, I was not a cow tipper. Cow tipping was bad juju.
No.
When I found out that it actually hurts the animal, and I loved my cows, man. We had 7. They were my animals. That's just who you hung out with in the back lot, and then you had to wander them to the side lot, and then take them hay every morning, and yeah, you had to be. They were your friends. I didn't want to cow tip. I didn't want to hurt them because kids would even come up and be like, "Oh, we're gonna go to plots and go cow tipping." I'm like, "Fuck, you are." I got guns. My stepdad's got guns. I'm not gonna use mine, but I'll yell at my stepdad too.
Yeah, the guns in my part of town were a lot different.
Yeah, no, you did not have like functioning rifles. They were like sawed-offs for
it's
drug
weird
deals,
because
and everything was like duct tape handles. Trust me, I've seen Sugar Hill. I know how it goes.
Exactly. I live in the suburbs, but for a long time I lived in like the woods and lived in like farming areas and such. So like when you'd hear stuff as an adult, even my kids kind of hear it and they're like, it's far off. We know it's on the farm. They're probably just killing like a coyote or something. Coming after their cows or whatever it is.
Or a freaking gopher coming after the veggie garden, man.
Yep, very true.
Gotta fight that.
So you'd hear it and you'd be like, okay, it's not urban justice. You know what I'm saying? It's not someone firing off at Batman as he's jumping off a rooftop. This is the sweet way of doing it. So when you'd hear him, it's like, fine, whatever. But when I was a kid, you heard him a lot more frequently. And you heard them hit your house a lot more frequently. They were happening right outside your street, and it was not fun. The only time we do have to worry about being shot at was if like crazy Uncle Johnny across the way was just firing off in the morning. You never know. Be careful. You might lose a window. We had a friend who always tried to. You and I did. Who always tried to act hard. Back in the day, like, and he was always telling stories. And I know as soon as I just said that line, Casey popped in his head who it was. So he was always trying to tell stories, and he was always trying to like come off like maybe a little harder than the rest. And he told me one time, he's like, I've been shot at in DC. And I'm like as an adult, like, because that was like a Wednesday for me as a kid. And they weren't even shooting at me. They were just kind of stray.
Just in the general vicinity of, yeah.
I was like, that didn't get any easier as you got older either. As you got bigger, you were a bigger target.
You had less ducking capability. It is kind of strange getting older and realizing like the certain things that you used to be able to hide. Like I can get my daughter like, all right, you can hide here, hide there. She can fit in tiny places. I could lose her in a closet. Yeah. I on the other hand, am like, oh man, I can't use any of that cool stuff anymore. I've got to like flip tables now, which tables never help. Like how often people always shoot through a freaking table.
What is every table made of oak in movies?
It's giant mahogany, thick 4-inch wood. It's what? Good luck even flipping that thing over.
My IKEA table is not protecting me in a shootout.
No, it is not. I've got this, I don't even wood grain semi, like maybe it's plastic and wood mixed together. That's definitely going right through. A 22 could penetrate this thing.
And what about couches, by the way? When did it become like fabric can stop a bullet? Because I don't remember reading that memo.
I'm pretty sure that came out at a Steven Seagal era thing where they were like, no, this will work perfect. We can absolutely use this to protect ourselves.
Now, old school couches, like those old flowery pattern ugly ones that had the wood finish inside the cushion.
I just want them shot up. I don't necessarily care if they stop anything. I just need a new couch at that point. Shoot it.
Dude, the 80s and 70s had such weird like decor.
Well, and shotguns would be great. Like you can't get a shotgun through a couch. I'm pretty sure.
It'd be tough. It'd be
I mean,
tough to do.
if you're shooting birdshot, definitely not. Buckshot, probably not. I mean, if you've got a slug, good luck.
I'll never forget when another mutual friend of ours was like, well, what do you want, a shotgun that for home protection? I'm like, what makes you think I just want to stop them? Like, if somebody comes into my home, I'm gonna stop them for good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the same way. That's why I have that special chair where you tie them up afterwards. Wait,
In a
what?
gasoline can right now. It's like an old-timey gasoline can.
Yes, it has to be. You got to take the ear first. There's always a straight razor and an old-timey gasoline can, and that's if
And
you
just
come
a
over my
shirt
house,
that
you'll
Casey
understand.
can rip in front of him. Like, we know what's going to happen here, right?
Just dealer's wheel and just start booping along.
Y'all broke into the wrong house today. And I would love it if none of this would ever happen, people. But if Casey did that and he had somebody tied to a chair, broken into his house, he's ripping that up, but he's just talking to him in a Matthew McConaughey voice.
It's unfortunate that y'all decided to come into this house. You're not really gonna get you're not gonna get far. I promise you that.
Oh,
Let's play a little game. All of a sudden, Matthew McConaughey's Jigsaw.
You should do that. Well, no, you shouldn't do that. But
I mean, not actually.
In an imaginary world, you should do that. Like if it were ever to actually happen or exist, and you go crazy and you do it, and you do that, you say, "Yeah, y'all broke into our house today," and then just give his Oscar speech.
Yes. Oh my God.
just roll right into it.
Just turn it all about love, and if you believe in yourself, man, you can do anything. And
I'm my hero 10 years from now. I'm never gonna catch my hero. And like you're just like doing the waves that he's doing in front of the guy tied up in front of you with a gas can in your hand.
A gas can and a razor, just going nuts. You're never gonna be that hero. You're never gonna catch up with that guy.
I'm just picturing him now doing that. You need to make a movie where you do this, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, seriously. Or we'll do a short just of that scene.
That would be so funny. Oh my God. All right. So Chris says, Casey, truth, how much trouble you get in for cow? And so he always said that he would never do it.
I did try once.
You fucking
I did.
must.
Not mine. Not mine. I cursed earlier. I'm sorry. I tried earlier one time going to another friend's farm that had a lot more cows. And they were like, we're going to go out and try tipping. And I went out, and the first time I went to go do it, I was trying to do a run up, and I slipped in a giant fresh cow patty and fell right on my face and was like, I'm good. Nope, I'm fine. You know, your face is like a foot away from a giant hoof that could just stomp and crush you. And it's like, you know what? Not going to screw around with this. And then I immediately found out thereafter how it actually hurts the animal and was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, no.
I don't want anyone messing. I don't want people messing with me when I sleep. So why is it fair to mess with others when they sleep?
I'd ride one.
I say this as someone who actually drew on people when they slept or would antique people when they were sleeping. It was 20s were a weird time.
They were. Life. When you're aimless, you do a lot of crazy things.
Oh man.
Mikey the Band-Aid, what's going on, man?
Mikey, what's up, brother?
Chains, baby. Alice in Chains.
Showboys Mikes, yeah. Hey, Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains actually was the concert I went to on Wednesday.
Oh, so were they there? Because you told me Bush and Breaking Benjamin, but I didn't know Alice in Chains.
Yeah, so Bush, Breaking Benjamin, and then Alice in Chains, and it was really good. Yeah, really good.
Man. I would have went for Alice in Chains. I bet you didn't know that.
Bush is always amazing. I did not actually know that. Bush is always incredible. I love Bush. And Gavin's.
But how many times can you hear Glycerin over and over again?
746,000.
At the same concert? Because that's the only song they have?
Oh my God, I'm going to come through this machine and strangle you. I did not realize the vim and vinegar I already had this morning until you just infuriated me. You beautiful human being, you. Breaking Benjamin, shockingly good. I had no idea. I mean, I've never disliked them, but I was never really a fan because to me, they were Chevelle. They were that era of all the same bands sounding the same. And I was like, okay, whatever.
They stood out for me though. I thought they had some really good
They do a lot more hits than I thought. A lot more
and
hits
they
than I
match
was
up
aware
well
of.
with Alice in Chains, right?
Absolutely, they do. And then Alice in Chains crushed it. Gosh, they were great. Oh, they were so good.
I would love
man.
to see Brewster live. I love that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it was awesome. That's what I think they
it.
finished with, and it was dope. So,
That's
yeah,
a good finisher.
Good. Oh,
that's
yeah,
a good
it was.
finisher. I mean, they have so many great songs, but that's another one I know their music. Like, so if you give me like rock bands, like legit rock bands, like I know their music. Like I was just so into it at that time. And a lot of rap. Like if you give me a lot of hip hop from back in the day.
I know you love your Iron Maiden, bro.
Oh, I love Maiden. Maiden might be my favorite.
Maiden's coming to town.
When?
Just saying. I think they're here in like another 2 weeks or something. It's like end of October.
I will go to that. I hate concerts. There's very few bands that I will go to see. Maiden is one of them. I've seen them live before, and they have wonderful shows. Their shows are amazing. They're everything, the pageantry, the whole nine. Maiden does it up. It's fantastic, and I love their music. Did I ever tell you a funny story? So I was in college at the time at FSU, the other one, the Full Sail one. So
just keep calling it FSU, though. I love that. Oh yeah, FSU right? Guy. You know,
they tried to get away with it too because they had a hat when we were graduating that they gave us, and it said FS, and there was a U. Because it's Full Sail University. Right. I was like, come on. That's a little too on the nose.
Just call it UFS, the University of Full Sail. There you go.
So I used to wear band tees back in the day, you know, when I could actually fit in them. Like I had a body that worked. So when I didn't have to get like graphic band tees that were made specifically for circus tent size, but actually like got them at concerts and such. So I had an Iron Maiden one and I was wearing it. And I went to Costco with some friends when we were living down in Florida, and a hot girl was working the register. And like she was flirting with me hard, and my brain was just shut off. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. That Mick was a different Mick. I'm like,
well, we were driven more by the little head than the big head.
Yeah, and she was like, Iron Maiden, tell me about them. I was like, yeah, it's one of my favorite bands. And my friends are like, tell her. And she's like, can you sing me one of their songs? And I drew a complete and utter blank. I would sing the songs around the house, and my roommates would go crazy. And then they're both looking at me, and they're like, sing the song, man. Sing a song, you know it. And they're like badgering me. And even she got in on it. She was like, just sing their song. Like she believed I knew them, but I was just drawing a blank. Her hotness was like on a different level. And I was just like, no, this isn't real. What are you doing? Stop talking to me. I don't trust you right now. There's like a stranger danger moment because you're too hot and you shouldn't be talking to me. But once I gained arrogance, it was all over.
Oh, thank God you did. Because seriously, and also I agree. We have our good friend Fred in here from Venom.
Fred's here.
Yeah, buddy. He's down there. Oh, maybe we also have Jeff here. There's a lot of people popping.
All right, let me roll through.
But I agree that the body shaming needs to end. All right, let's
I work in supply management for a hospital. It's been a while, a couple of years. The rest of my time is spent with family, hobbies, enjoying the delightful podcasts like this one, but at night. Oh wait, no, I read that wrong.
That's
you
pretty
enjoy the podcast, but at night.
Yes.
I was looking at it. I thought that was, there should have been an ellipsis there, and it was like, but at night I'm Batman. Like sort of like that's where it was supposed to go.
But at night I have to become vengeance.
I work for the state data entry. Laugh out loud. Check the songs out.
Nice, dude.
Will do. Hey, I lived in Detroit for 11 years. It depends on which side you live on. I don't know that there's sides.
Yeah,
I think it's all just one dome of craziness.
All OCP run.
There's Tina Turner's just there, like Welcome to the Thunderdome at all times, and that's just Detroit.
See, for me, that's New Mexico, but I'm with you.
We're getting there. It's terrifying because we're still. Oh no, we're in the second hour. I wasn't even paying attention. Is Terrifier 2 playing near you guys tonight? Maybe. I'd have to check. We do have an Alamo near us, and I'm not going to see. All right. We'll get into the movie side of things. I want to hold off on that.
Let's keep on rolling. Yep.
The Mick in the behind the scenes material for your student film was looking pretty good. Thanks, buddy. But even then, I was still big then. I had a beer gut because I had gotten injured on the job. And then I went to film school. And when you go from working out intensely and doing a job that's high octane to going to film school, That's it. And drinking beer a lot.
There it is.
It slows down. That
There
metabolism.
it is. I tell you what, that drinking beer will get you every time. It's all that extra sugar.
Don't do it anymore. Jeff, what's up,
Jeff,
buddy?
what's up,
Classic
buddy?
Conversations, great show.
Yep,
Please
check
don't
it
make
out.
eye contact with me if you recognize. Well, thanks, Jeff.
No, Jeff, I will absolutely stare you down uncomfortably. But
I got the more excitement out of the Classic Conversations part before I read what you actually said to us. Hey,
Morning,
Kathleen, what's going on? You were supposed to be up at 6:15. Why are you just saying morning now? I went cow tipping only once, and coincidentally was chased by a bull only once. Turned out the cow I tried to tip was not a cow. Oh,
that'll
that's
mess
a
you
bad
up.
mistake.
Oh, that's a big mistake.
People don't respect the sleeping people enough. No.
Depends on the hour, but as a rule, no.
That's true. And Fred, what's going on? Love Breaking Benjamin. I love Bush.
Heck yeah, with you all the way on Boosh. Love Boosh. It's like my 6th time seeing them now. They're awesome.
Scowls at a child that's been awake since 6:15. She's on a schedule, man.
I love it.
Oh, husband and wife coming together on the show. Yes. Scowls at John harder. The body shaming needs to end.
Exactly. You got to stop shaming yourself. Look, as me, I'm always back and forth on this, but as Dr. Cox used to say in Scrubs, the only way to be better is to hate your body. So it's okay for you to hate your body as long as you love yourself.
But Casey, I hate my body. And I just make people aware of it.
Yeah, but you got to love yourself at the same time.
Use
your arrogance for good.
Her hotness was on a different level. I deal with that on a daily basis.
Oh,
yeah, you do, buddy. That's
that was
sweet.
Beautiful.
And she rolled her eyes at you. I love when husband and wife show up.
It's fantastic.
Nico McBrain is top 1 or 2 drummers.
I'll agree with that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just drew a blank on Nico. I'm losing my mind. Wendy's has the best fast food breakfast. All right, here's the argument I have for that. I can't. It's hard to argue that. I mean, it doesn't have the best. Okay, the best fast food breakfast, maybe I can get behind because it has sausage and sausage gravy and biscuits. And I did not realize how delectable that was until I moved to the South.
Those were Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers has a sausage gravy that is just out of this world, man. And wait, are they all closed?
Yep.
No.
Oh, yes. Hold on one second. I have the van keys that my wife needs. I'll be right back. Welcome to the morning show. Casey, keep them going.
All right. Well, actually, Mick, I think it'd be a really good time to take a break here since we were discussing doing that. But we'll just keep on going. Since I don't have access, I can't pull up everybody who's talking. So this is going to be really fun. Let's see what else we have going on. So as far as the Wendy's breakfast, first of all, I'm still blown away by the fact that Roy Rogers is gone. Like, that doesn't even compute to me. I'm not okay with that in any little bit of my soul. Wendy's, I don't know about their fast food breakfast. Just I'd rather have Bojangles. I love my chicken biscuit, man. That's the way to go. That is 100%. Now I'm thinking about his food. So now I'm just trapped here thinking about food while Mick is running around probably getting food. It's unfair. I don't find it fun.
Why? Because I have a fat body? You jerk.
No, you jackass. It's because you could have been away long enough to go get food.
I just threw the keys down there.
Just threw the keys at her. I love you.
Get him on the show.
Get out of here. I'm busy.
We couldn't take a break real quick because we didn't do reads, and I haven't pulled up the commercials yet. So let's get through the comments, and then we're going to take a quick break.
Cool.
All right. Because I've only gotten coffee. I've only now gotten coffee. Well,
that's an important thing. Yep. Coffee is important.
Got to be in it to win it. My town doesn't have a Wendy's. I have to settle for McDonald's breakfast when I have time before work. You don't have a Wendy's?
I struggle with McDonald's breakfast because I feel like all it is just pure like gut lube. So like no matter how long after you've eaten, for me, it's consistently right about 35 minutes. My body after 35 minutes goes, oh, we have something to help empty. So it's a good evac system. But that's about it.
Did you see what McDonald's has now?
Something terrible, probably that's bound to kill you.
Not
a play place. Not a play place. How about
not a play place? No, they're gone. You gotta go Chick-fil-A for that. No, that has an adult Happy Meal now. It's a burger fries, a 10-piece chicken nugget, a drink, and a toy, all in an adult Happy Meal box.
That's what I used to order, but I don't know if I need a toy.
You need the toy.
I would rather have, I don't know, sub out like a cookie or something, or a Go-Gurt.
Well, it's proving to be very effective because people are flocking to it.
Really?
I did not go.
No
I
walk
just
up
want
flocking
that
to it?
noted. I know I collect a lot of shit, but damn, I keep cursing.
Say yet. He hasn't gone yet.
All right, that's fair. I kind of want the Grimace toy.
See,
I do.
there it is.
But I want the Grimace toy for a reason. I'm going to send it to my brother because we have a joke about a Grimace because somebody at his wedding wore purple.
Oh, no.
And we've called that person Grimace.
Well, that's just not kind.
Well, no, in fairness, I mean, I'm Free Willy, so like we have names.
Would you stop it? That's not even fair. You got to be nicer to yourself, man.
I am nice to myself. I'm great. I have an
Okay,
amazing
all right.
personality.
I love how you start getting into that, and now I go from I'm
You
all about
immediately go
supporting
the other
you,
way.
but the moment your arrogance hits, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Oh, I just
Yep.
swore big on hard again. Yep, awesome.
We have to get better at not cursing.
It's really
We're
hard.
never going to get hired. Well, Sirius XM. If you want a great show, we're your guys.
We're right here for you.
Right, Sirius XM, everybody. Casey, you are the man for bringing up Dr. Cox Scrubs as the best. Guy love, baby.
It's guy love. That's all.
Don't get me sued.
It's guy love. He's mine. I'm his. Yeah.
Venom
I'm with you,
Studios Productions. That may be the nicest thing you'll ever hear from me.
Hey,
well, thank you, Fred.
that's
You
true.
should have showed up last night. You said you were going to come by, but I get if you were busy, so I'm not upset.
Fred's awesome. We love
We would
him.
have loved to have seen you. Is Virginia the South? Yes. Yeah, it is.
South of Mason-Dixon. Now, look, there are parts of Northern Virginia that are north-ish, north-like.
There are parts of Maryland that are very south, too.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So the Mason-Dixon, there's a little bleed there, about 30 miles on each side. But then after that, yeah, we in the South. Mick especially.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I am like 20 minutes from West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say that's not South. It's the South. It's the South. And when you're from New Jersey, the very highest point, everything's the South. Even
that's
South
true.
Jersey's the South.
I don't know. I'm from Connecticut, and I would think that I might have a stronger lock on that. But I also grew up in the country, so it's different for me anyway.
But your country, there's a
Yeah.
difference.
Well, we had folks with the Stars and Bars that were still driving on their trucks, 2 of them, and I was like, "Do you guys even know what that means? Like, you're aware you lost, right? Like, and we're in the North where we won. Like, you need to stop that. I don't understand the heritage thing. It's like that's no.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm voting Bojangles. I can't do it. I don't like Bojangles.
Chris,
I don't like
that's my boy. Chris knows what's up.
I'll go to Popeyes for Bojangles.
Ooh, see, Popeyes is strong too, but the Bojangles chicken sandwich, it's just there's something
like it.
special about it.
I don't like it.
Something delightful. And plus, Popeyes here as I get older, man, just mess with my guts hard.
Bojangles used to have scrambled eggs with pig brain on the menu. How
That's the way to
old
do
are
it.
you, Fred?
They had pig's feet, man. When I went down to Georgia, they had pig's
I'm
feet.
kidding with them. If someone cough John, I read that wrong, but whatever, had started the coffee pot this morning, I would have coffee. You don't need coffee, you have us.
Hey,
That's our morning show, and if we get picked up, you'll have us every morning. So I got the shameless plug. And if Kathleen cooked John breakfast, he wouldn't be stuck at McDonald's. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Rolling
Shots
on.
fired. Welcome this morning.
And John said, I like where this conversation is going.
He would. He absolutely would.
It's fair. Both are fair points. I'm not defending that. I'm moving on. Have a
Smart.
Have a swear jar. Use it for these episodes, and maybe by the end of the year, donate the money. I'll do that. You want to do that?
That's a great idea.
I love that.
That's an amazing idea. Yes.
I'm going to find an online swear jar.
Yep. Online swear jar where we have to put $1 a swear.
Yep. And
That's
anybody
perfect.
can donate to it.
Anyone can donate to the charity jar. And then what we decide is at the end of the year, we make it a whole year. So, and what a great way to wrap up October, buddy.
Perfect, Sturdy, perfect. And it'll be the charity of our choice. So, because there's a lot of charities we want to help.
Well, we can also let everyone vote on Discord. We can see how much money, and if we wind up with enough to split it maybe 2 ways.
Well, I think we should do the drive-in.
I
There's a
love that
local
idea.
drive-in that's strained right now, and they need help, and they're holding fundraisers.
Mhm.
Although this would be a year, they might not be around in a year, but we'll find something else.
Well, that's why we want to try to jump on that as quick as possible.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah.
We need to do another charity event soon.
I think it's charity time, but let's keep it to 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's just.
I think we did all right with the 12.
No, we did fine with it. I'm just older now.
I think we need more break.
Yeah.
Although we had a lot of breaks in the last one. It wasn't that bad.
No, the actually everyone else who came out did so fantastically well. So it was pretty radical.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Okay. Kathleen says, I can make John breakfast. That would be very kind of me. We have a married couple going on in the comments, and I love it.
They're doing work.
Air fried bacon at 6:20 does sound good. Well, the woman's waking up at 6:15. Calm down a little bit, bud. Give her.
As long as you have the coffee ready, then she'll probably be ready to rock out.
You gotta have both ready. It's got to be a give or take. Paul says, I was one of the few who didn't have one on my car in high school. Pretty sure NC is more southern.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
He's talking about the stars and bars. I get it, man. I understand, especially being in North Carolina. Woo, baby, don't tread on me. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh God, I've never been to a Bojangles.
Kathleen, you need to move on down here. Not just come visit, just come hang out, and we will take you to Bojangles. In fact, we'll do an entire fast food tour because there's a Crystal Burger, Steak and Shake. Oh man, this is good stuff.
I will never if somebody came to visit me and it's the Jersey in me and you can be shitty about it. Charity's getting a lot of stuff today. So that's 3, I think. $3
for you. I'm on 2.
We're gonna keep it in our heads for now, and then we'll start something.
Forget that. I'm writing this down.
That. I like
it's
that a lot.
Too late.
And that might we might have to extend that to all our shows. But okay, so if somebody comes and visits me and is hungry, it's the Jersey in me to not take him to fast food or anything that's recognizable. I'm taking them to the places that it's like, especially if we were in New York City, we're going to the hidden places because
you have to go to the hole in the walls. You have to find those special spots that have really incredible food that no one would ever think of, or the weird places in strip malls, that strange buffet that everyone was a little leery of, but it's incredible.
That diner that just it hits right, and you're like, and everybody's like, hey, let's go to this fancy restaurant. No. Let's go to this Greasy Spoon right here. Yeah. Because you're going to have the best meal of your life.
Like I just found one here in Winchester, or not Winchester, listen to me, Warrenton, a local spot called the Frost Diner, where literally the stools are still held together by duct tape. It was glorious, man. Sitting at that bar, hanging out, just getting my coffee that definitely sat in that same carafe for at least 14 hours.
It's the best. It's
so good.
Terrible for you, but great for you. I'm about to have to pay you $10 a week.
I'm all right with it.
Also, I have never been farther south than Metropolis. Like in Superman's Metropolis? That's just Kansas? That's pretty south. I don't
is Metropolis in Kansas?
Is there a Metropolis in Michigan?
Maybe Illinois? I
don't know what you mean.
Push a little further south?
What is that? What?
I have to know where Metropolis is now. I'm baffled.
You've confused me, Kathleen. You need to eat something or have.
Or wait, is Metropolis what you call New York City? Because that would be cooler. Because that would be way cooler.
That would be really funny if everybody.
Now that's what I want it to be.
She said Metropolis, Illinois. I never knew that existed. So here's the thing: you have one of the biggest cities in the world in Chicago,
right?
And I know that because when I sold school technology goods for a few years, Chicago was one of my main districts. So I know a lot about Chicago. I have never heard of Metropolis, Illinois. And Illinois was my whole state. But I've never heard of Metropolis, Illinois. So this has to be some BS. And that doesn't count for the swear jar.
No, that's fine. I'm not going to count BS. BS is safe. You could also say bull hockey, bull corn, anything to that effect that has a bull to start.
Fred says it's garbage on a plate. I don't know what. I Bojangles?
Oh, probably the brains feet thing. The brains thing.
Oh, okay. You know what's the best in the South that I've ever had? Greasy Spoon, and that's just personal what I've had.
Sure.
Pam's Farmhouse.
Oh, Pam's Farmhouse was incredible, bro. Oh, dude, when we
Pam's
were down in Raleigh,
I'm so mad that we're going down to North Carolina and we're not going to be by Raleigh.
yeah, no, we're going to like to the other side of it.
I want to go to Pam's Farmhouse again. I listen, Destiny and Stephanie, you need to have us back for Carolina Fear Fest every year for the next 1,000 years because I want to go to Pam's Farmhouse.
We need Pam's.
We do. Michigan has Steak and Shake. Well, Southwest Michigan does. Well, yeah, I think Steak and Shake is one of those ones that really pops up every once in a while.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the places it wound up at.
Yeah. I'm not saying that word, Sturdy. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm already 03.
Almost gotcha.
I want you guys to. I want to visit you guys too if we are doing that.
Done. Everybody's always welcome here.
No, not everybody. Sturdy is.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding, of course. Yes, you should definitely come visit. And if I get to make my big announcement next week, there may be a reason for everybody to come and visit.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
It's a good tease, and we'll leave that there.
Across the river from Paducah.
Paducah.
Paducah?
That's Paducah, baby.
Kentucky?
You're going to Paducah, Kentucky.
What did I tell you about Worldly?
Or Paducah.
Kathleen needs a vacation. Cough, cough, John. Get on it, John. And
Yep.
she says, I do need a vacation. All right, we're caught up on the comments. Keep them coming now, guys. We're going to keep going.
Fire away. I think it's a really good time for some people whose morning coffee is hit to maybe go see Man About a Horse.
All right. Why don't you go do that? And I will keep the home fires burning for a few seconds. Do a read because I need to get. Oh shit! Why is this not working? Oh shit! Ah man, that's fine.
Yes,
I'm up to $5.
Yeah.
I'm doing terrible right now.
All right. So our total dollar count now is currently at $7 already on our first show.
Shut up.
with hours left to go.
You're welcome, St. Jude's. Let me pull up the thing that I want to pull up so that way we can play commercials and take a quick break. Yes. But I do got to do a read, and hold on, it's taking me forever to get this.
Kathleen says the kid wants to tell us a joke. So what do you call? Okay, so Kathleen's amazing daughter wants to tell us a joke. So
okay,
what do you call
I'll pull it up.
A dancing cow?
Let me guess. Is it? I don't know what.
A milkshake.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I like that. I'm down for the pound.
I love it. Well, that's also how do you make a boogie, or how do you make a napkin dance?
Put a little boogie in it.
There you go. Put a little boogie in it. Yep.
All right.
Why is Corn such a great listener?
I don't know. It's all ears.
Because it's all ears.
Yeah, there you go. See? All right. You beat it. Take a break. I'm going to play commercials, but I'm going to do a quick read.
Perfect.
Guys, this show is brought to you by Noom. Noom. It's helped getting me thinner. I appreciate it. I love Noom. It's wonderful. Noom has daily life lessons, personal coaching sessions, support groups, tracking systems, and more to help you on your journey of weight loss and more and changing your lifestyle. They're not going to tell you that you can't eat this or you can't eat that. They don't believe in it. It's not good or bad foods. Instead, they'll give you the knowledge and the wisdom through courses and meeting with personal trainers and stuff like that, all remotely, so you can do it through the app. To help you build the wisdom to make informed choices to fit your lifestyle. Give Noom a try. We have an affiliate link down below. Go take their test, see if it's for you. Sign up and give it a shot. We really like it. I enjoy it. It's been changing my life in a lot of ways because I've been keeping up with doing the scale and things like that. And I'm not so down on myself. It helps me with the psychology of why I eat the way I do and other things like that. So give Noom a try on our affiliate link down below in the links and, or don't. It's up to you, but help goes a long way. But all right, everybody, we will be back very shortly I'm going to play you some commercials to keep you entertained, to keep you around, but we're going to go use the bathroom and other things like that. We love you. We'll talk to you guys very, very soon. We'll play that.
When you give out McDonald's Halloween
All right,
gift
I'll be right back, everybody.
Kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, a book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1. And can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Nobody. Of the corn. New kind of nightmare. An adult nightmare. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Rated R.
Coming Friday. Check local newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
I'm alive! I'm a perfect creation! Gee, I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, backbones, and toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's the face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
Special, filled with ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them. Nightmare on Elm Street. No! No! She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails, no one will survive.
Help me, please!
Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street, rated R.
Now playing at a flagship theater near you.
You must believe me, Count. I didn't know. I did not know. And let the servants do the shopping.
People tend to see red when you serve up anything but Watty's tomato sauce, because Watty's never skimp on their special ingredients and top quality tomatoes. Twice the taste and twice as good, because Watty's means good food.
Oh.
For now, I've got some grisly details for you, and if you're one of my lucky callers selected at random, you'll talk to me live while you're awake and safe. So dial this number now if you dare. Talk to me live. Freddy Krueger is waiting just for you.
What strange creatures are lurking in the night? Ah, skull face, mummy face too. Oh, ghoul face. What a frightful sight. Yes, Mom, this Halloween your kids can have fun creating their own scary disguise with Kooky Spooks makeup. They just smear it on. When the makeup dries, it cracks to make them look really old and ghoulish. Add in the sheet and the costume's complete. Kooky Spooks makeup kits, 6 frightening disguises to choose from.
Hi. Good move, my lord. Soon the city will be mine. Excellent, my lord. The wench has blocked me. We've lost. We, my lord?
Cathedral, the medieval strategy game. When the city is finished, you could be too.
Lola Dips, a hauntingly wholesome Halloween treat. Chewy granola dipped in real milk chocolate. Chocolate and granola, lose some control, granola dip. The perfect treat for your little monsters.
Welcome to the world of terror. When I'm not busy embalming bodies, which isn't often, I like to relax with some good family reading. Let me introduce you to my personal library of Fangoria, the leader in horror entertainment. What a fascinatingly hideous cover of Freddy Krueger. and devilishly candid reviews of the latest horror videos, and gloriously bloody color photos from the newest Friday the 13th. They're all here in Fangoria. Can I persuade you to subscribe?
This is Fango editor Tony Tapone asking you to enter the world of Fangoria. Only $12.49 for a special 6-month video subscription. Send check or money order to Fangoria Magazine, 475 Park Avenue South, New York, 10016.
Ah, let the dead bodies wait.
Nobody expected it. Nobody believed it. And nothing could stop it. The one hope. The only hope. The Exorcist. Rated R.
The movie you've been waiting for. Without the wait.
Make Halloween fun with one-stop shopping at Woolworth or Woolco for your Halloween needs. Costumes from $1.83 to $3.99, like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and a new favorite for girls, Holly Hobby. You can get wrapped candies of every kind, bubblegum, lollipops, fun-sized candy bars. Get this Halloween record, sounds to make you shiver, just $1.89. Make Halloween fun and easy. Make just one stop at Woolworth or Woolco.
Where? And now at participating burger chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible!
This place was once a funeral parlor, wasn't it? What was that?
We're gonna get out of here!
Get up, Judy! Yes, you can!
Night of the Demons.
Where you going? The party's just begun.
Rated R.
Oh, it's Friday.
These are some of my favorite Halloween commercials. Hope you guys are enjoying them. So I'm gonna come back now. So guys, just so you know, sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we have to go to the bathroom. But we appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out with us on this morning show. Hopefully we're keeping you entertained. But just so you know, this show is brought to you by Skillshare. It's actually a very cool tool to use if you guys are interested in doing things like, to help build businesses or help build your know-how on a lot of things, helps you build up a lot of skills. So Skillshare has teachers, that are like industry rock stars and different, platforms, things like that, that share their experience, wisdom, and trusted tools with you, all through videos. It offers more than 41,000 plus courses or classes, as they say, and 8 million users. I use it myself to help me build up the Scene Snobs and learn graphic design, things like that. It is the most popular online learning platform out there and focuses on classes for creative professionals and entrepreneurs. It's focused on creative workers like designers, chefs, artists, and more. Entrepreneurs, helps them with their marketing, their SEO work, stuff like that. Of course, and it's also good for freelancers and small businesses that are trying to, build up their skills in like marketing, things like that. It's a platform for personal growth. Some of its classes are short and sweet, around 10 minutes, whereas others run longer for hours and even can get up to 50 short videos. All its classes have assignments and encourage its learners to share their projects and learning along the way, and it encourages engagement with the Skillshare community. So go check out Skillshare. We have links down in the description or on thescenesnobs.com. It's a very cool tool. And if you are looking for that, sort of thing to help you build your business or help you build what's going on, definitely go check it out. Casey is still out to lunch, as we say. He'll be back soon. Excuse me. But I wanted to come back on and talk to you guys. Let's go through some of the comments that we missed. John says, I need to get some actual work done now. I have to leave my 60-degree storm room and deal with people. Thanks for the great start to my day, guys. Thanks for joining in, John. We appreciate you. And that's what this is about. It's a morning drive show or if you're sitting at work and you have the ability to listen to us, please. Hopefully we're keeping you entertained and get you through your day. George G3 says, sorry, been out on the van. What's the money for? So we were cursing way too much. And if you guys know like what we're trying to build here, we love doing a radio show. We love doing Scene Snobs. We love the podcasting. This is what we enjoy doing. So if we can turn this into a morning show where we get to do the things and talk about things that we love, we would love to do that and keep you entertained. It's one of our favorite things to do. So we're trying not to curse so we can do such, in some format where cursing really isn't allowed. So we're trying to stop ourselves from doing it. So we're starting, based on Sir Sturdy's advice, a swear jar. So if we curse, we're going to put $1 in a swear jar. At the end, we will... Oh, Casey's back. Let me bring him up.
Hi.
So at the end, we will... at the end of the year, we'll collect through. And we need you guys to watch. And we need to get more eyes on us to keep us accountable. So that way... That's why we need you to watch, to keep us accountable, exactly. So we can put the money in the swear jar each week, or for the show. And as we build, if this expands or happens to expand to more days throughout the week, if we curse, we put $1 in a swear jar, and we're going to donate that to charity at the end of the year. So,
and it'll be a charity of our choice. We have a lot of them out there, and there's a lot of good ones. There's also a lot of local ones. A lot of people need help. So we always like to help whenever we can. And I also realize that I absolutely have to change my diet. If I'm the pre-morning show diet is going to have to change. So my Thursday night food intake is going to have to be a little different than fish sticks and green beans. I don't think that was the strongest move.
I feel like that's better than like greasy, terrible food. That would have hit you.
Oh, yeah. No, that is true. That is fair. But I also probably would have a faster trip in and out of the loo.
I've gotten into cooking more again.
Oh yeah,
because I always loved it. So my dad always did the cooking growing up.
Mm-hmm.
He was, he worked 2 jobs. And I have a lot I can say about my dad in many facets, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
But he always believed in 5 o'clock we're at the dinner table. So between jobs, he would come home, cook a meal. We'd all sit at the dinner table. We had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We had to give him 24 hours notice. It was the craziest thing if we weren't going to be there, which you don't believe anything's going to come up. Like,
no, I completely understand that. My mom was the exact same way. She was a stickler for it. Like if you didn't first of all, if the street lights came on and you were still outside, you were wrong, because dinner was usually at 6, between 6 and 6:30. So you better just plan to be at the table at 6. Otherwise you were going to get a whooping. Or you were just going to be grounded and not be able to go out and play more. So, I mean, who wants that?
Well, but when he did all the cooking, so my mother didn't really do the cooking. She didn't really cook at all. So it was like a very different, for the time, men didn't do a lot of cooking. But he had to fend for himself when he was younger, because my grandmother wasn't a cook.
Mm-hmm.
So and he got tired of eating like microwave meals and stuff like that. So the TV dinner and stuff like that. So he learned how to cook from his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just brought that on, and he always incorporated it. And he made great meals in the old world, if that makes sense. In an old world where his baked ziti, everyone loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone knew this is a better than average baked ziti. This is really well done. But by today's standards and the fact that we experiment more, we do new things than they did back in the old days, it's not as good. It's still better than it's above average, but it just isn't by today's standards where you put more stuff in.
Absolutely. I mean, I was lucky enough with my grandmother. She owned her own catering company. So, and she was a phenomenal cook. That was the first time I'd ever had, curried lamb and stuff like that. It was fantastic. So my mom always cooked. She was adamant about it. Anything out of the box was the worst thing on earth. She was like, how could you lower your standards to that? So
had to be from scratch. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. So if we were doing it, that's the way we were doing it. And it was great because my stepdad was a phenomenal grill artist. The guy's a master on the grill. And my dad is huge on the grill. And dad always wanted to do the big meals. So a giant pot of jambalaya.
I noticed that I said my dad was a good cook and it was above average. And your adjectives got a lot more grandiose.
What?
It's not a competition. We know
Okay.
you're better.
I see you're a little touchy this morning, huh, buddy?
No.
Feeling
No,
those
I was kidding.
pinpricks?
I was
Okay,
kidding.
buddy.
I was kidding.
All right.
I was kidding. I was just joking. No, I'm just messing with you. My whole point to that was when I got into I never learned how to cook, but when I got into college, I was like, I'm tired of eating ramen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned how to cook. And then it shifted and it was eating out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm getting back into cooking again.
It's nice to be back into cooking. I mean, it's really great. I was taking, just simple ramen noodles, and all I really use is the actual noodles themselves, and just whip up some kind of broth. I love creating broths now for like some kind of wild soup or something different. So I've been watching a lot of Iron Chef with River, and we're getting fun ideas there and like trying different things. And she loves I whipped up something easy like Sloppy Joe's, and all I did was doctor it up a little bit. Throw a few extra things here and there, a couple extra spices. I like browning my meat and doing it in a curry style beforehand, and then throw it into the overall the sloppiness, as it were. Which has gone really well. And she's eating peppers and onions and all sorts of stuff that I'm like, ooh, I can just hide all these things in there. And she doesn't know she's eating healthy.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've been, because I like to make my chili. And sometimes I'll add a can to it, but only for certain things, only because it has certain ingredients. But for the most part, it's from scratch, and I use, I put it all together. But I've started adding some new secret ingredients in, and
nice.
it's been starting to pull people in. Like around the family, it's like, oh, you can make your chili, like, yeah. And now I'm starting to get that big head of like, oh, there's a chili cook-off soon. Maybe I should enter it. But
I think we should absolutely do it. I think the Scene Snobs chili cook-off should absolutely happen.
You can't have credit for my chili.
I'll be making my own, buddy.
Carolina Reaper in there and be like, I fixed it.
No, that'd be a couple Scotch bonnets. Like, there you go, buddy. Now you got some real chili.
You all right? Somebody's a little testy today.
I'm just saying. I'll throw it down. What's up? Let's do this.
Don't you mess with my chili.
Oh, buddy. I think it's a chili off time. I think it's a chili off.
I'm down with a chili off. We have 2 crock pots. We can do it. Let's get there. Have fun with the people, John. It's Kathleen staying. She's sticking around. Kathleen says, I can definitely see the difference in. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. She says I look good. Sweet. You need a good drop for the swear jar. I think we're going to do an online one. We're going to find something online and then do it that way. So I owe $5 so far.
Yes, I've got 7 total.
Both of us together?
Both of us together.
Yeah, because you did too, right? Yeah, okay. Yep. Guess you need Charmin as a sponsor for Casey.
I actually use bamboo toilet paper now. Thank you. I found some bamboo toilet paper. I found some stuff that's way better than Charmin, even though they do have the bears.
Nope. Listen, I wear blue and I look like a bear. We need to do Charmin.
No, because you're going to kill the bears. It would not work out well for us at all. I mean, if you're going to kill the mascot of the people who are like constantly part of our bits is you wiping out the Charmin bears. I don't know.
How funny would it be if it was all a ruse to get Charmin to like take us on and we get to meet the bears and it's just me pummeling the Charmin bears, pulling back bloody stumps from just punching bears.
Be like, what? This is how we do it. And then after this, make sure to wipe. Sanitation is important.
You guys would love my foul chili. No turkey, no chicken in chili. I'm sorry.
I do turkey all the time, buddy. Nope. Ground turkey is the business.
Nope. I'm not agreeing to that. A Scene Snobs cook-off, yes.
Yeah, Sturdy knows. That's what's up. Yep.
I'm here till 10.
Yeah, Sturdy.
Love it. All right. I wanted to get into, it's 8:43. We're getting into the news in the last hour, but I want to get into the new movies coming out.
Okay. Yeah, we do have that. Are we going to bring up the YouTube thing we brought about earlier? That Star Trek thing I was talking about? I do want to jump on that real quick.
Wait, which one?
So this morning I started watching in prep for the show. I had just up a bunch of different windows, and one of the windows had this, you should, because of your viewing, you might enjoy this. So I found a 1992 recording where Good Morning America toured the Star Trek Next Generation lot. and just did their show from there live. And it was awesome watching Charles Gibson wander through with his very droll manner, discussing, here, yes, we have a set that's supposed to be here. They were showing it where it was on the ship. We're supposed to be here, but obviously in real life, we're not there. And it's like, oh, man, don't ruin it for me. Damn you, Charles Gibson. But I actually remember them doing this stuff where they wandered around. You know, they've got Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner and everybody in 92 talking about their show. And it's just funny how kind of condescending the hosts were towards, oh, great, Star Trek. And now Trek is so big that from 1992 to now, I don't know, man. I don't know why they were condescending about it.
I don't know why they would be, because it's 1992. It had already been on the air for 4 years.
And it was huge. I mean, that's the thing, is by 92, it's monstrous. We've got, you know, Star Trek 6 coming out. There's all kinds of things going on back in those days. So, but it was funny to watch that. It was funny to see that. And just kind of also made me realize how far we are from newscasters, what newscasters were versus where they are. You know, I thought that was a fascinating correlation to see, because now it's a bunch of talking heads who have kind of graduated to the 24-hour news stations who are just not really enjoyable. You know, there's so many salacious just stories told kind of over the top and just absurd that it's not fun to watch anymore. But back then it was only, you know, 1 hour a week. I really enjoy that format. I miss that format of news.
Yeah, I you know what, I agree with you, like that, because the 24-hour news cycle was started before us. It started in 1980 with CNN. I believe it was 1980.
We're gonna go with it.
No, I'm almost 90% sure it was 1980 that 24-hour cycle. CNN started it then.
Yeah,
that year, because I think that was like the big thing. Like the 80s now has news for 24 hours. Like, so when it came to that, people still weren't there. It was local news. I don't think people were up for throughout the 80s. Like CNN wasn't this huge thing. You know, and I remember what you were just saying, like the morning news, the evening news, and then the late night news for the ones who stayed up a little later.
Yep.
And it's funny that you say an hour, because it was an hour in the morning, but like then like 5 o'clock news was about an hour in some places, some it was a half.
Yep.
And it's so weird to me. And then on the 10 or 11 o'clock news, if it was 10 o'clock, it was an hour. If it was 11, it was a half hour, because there was a late night show. Nobody was trying to compete with Johnny Carson.
No one was competing with Carson. Then you would also have, like, I always remember ABC World News with Peter Jennings. That was the one that my dad watched and my stepdad always watched. What was it? Dan Rather's CBS Evening News.
Yes, but that was the evening news. Remember, the whole world news was usually only one day a week, and that was Sundays.
Right. Yep.
It was so crazy. Like if you wanted to, and it's so funny because when you watch like John Oliver on the Last Week Tonight, and people are like, man, he just does one show a week where he covers I was like, that was how the world worked back in the day. You got your world news either through the newspaper, not the local,
nope.
Unless you lived where I live now, or you got it through the world news, like ABC or something like that, on Sundays.
And that was it. That was it. Then you get like CBS Sunday Morning, where they just did vignettes of little stories. You know, where they'd always have the arts and entertainment was like a big push for that. I believe that was Charles Kuralt, who would always wake you up in the morning with CBS Morning News.
Yeah, I think CNN really caught its time when people would actually start paying attention to the 24-hour, because that was worldly news when Persian Gulf War hit.
Yeah, because 1980, you were right. June 1st, 1980 is when CNN hit. So that's when they started. So yeah, by 1990, 91, that was really the time when we were like, wow, now we're watching it. People invested in it. They started watching it more. And of course, right after that, they became the Clinton News Network. That was that big thing in 92 where they flipped it and were like, oh, this stuff is all BS. And we never actually, you know, parents used to always complain about it. There's only one news station for one side. And then we get Fox, we get MSNBC, we get all these other, you know, news programs coming out the same way.
Well, even
really just starting the downward spiral of humanity with a 24-hour news cycle.
Well, even the thing that propelled it even more in the 90s was the LA race riots. And then the O.J. Simpson, and then going on to the trial and stuff like that. So like that's what the 24-hour news cycle, because then you saw everybody popping up with the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, because then it was really taking the place of the Sally Jesse Raphaels and, you know, the Maury's and all of those, the Montel Williams, all those shows that were on in that mid-afternoon time slot started to slowly trickle over to the news, and especially when there was like a car chase on. I mean, being able to watch OJ on the Bronco, I mean, that was huge. Everybody tuned into that. Even if you were on a show, they were like, nope, we're cutting to this. Like, I loved watching car chases. I think that's one of those sick things that humanity is all about. We're like, someone's screwing up and doing something outrageous. Let's watch.
Well, the big news networks, you know, the big networks, I should say, not news networks, always sort of stuck to the same. Like, you got they added a 12 noon show. Mm-hmm. So like you had the morning news, the Today shows, stuff like that. And then, you know, blocks, you know, now it's like 5 to 8 p.m. is news, especially on NBC and stuff like that. So it's such an odd time to how it competes and everything. But I do, I agree with you. It's such a different world from what it was back in the day.
And not necessarily a bad thing. Different isn't always bad. It's just very different.
Yeah. All right. So new movies this week.
All right. Let's get to it. What do we got?
Well, it came out the other day. It's out on Netflix now. I have a full review up on it. You can go check it out on YouTube. Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Ooh.
When Craig, a young boy living in a small town, befriends Mr. Harrigan, an older reclusive billionaire, the two begin to form an unlikely bond over the love of books and reading. But when Mr. Harrigan sadly passes away, Craig discovers not everything is dead and gone, and strangely finds himself able to communicate with his friend from the grave through his iPhone. This supernatural coming-of-age story shows the certain connections are never lost, and it is based on a Stephen King short novel.
That's pretty exciting. I love it, and this is going to be out on Netflix. So Netflix has really been strong on the Stephen King front. They're pushing basically everything he's done, which I'm fine with. They're doing a great job. And this Mr. Harrigan is played by Donald Sutherland.
He did a great job in it.
I mean, I'm just happy to see him still around. I love Donald Sutherland. I think he should be around forever. He's one of the few that we should just try to take his head and turn him into a Futurama character.
That's very fair. On Peacock, A Friend of the Family. It's a series. It's a 4-episode series. And it's about the Broberg family. If you remember, their youngest daughter, Jan, was kidnapped multiple times over the period of years by a family friend that they were all manipulated by. Mr. B, they called him, or something like that, or B. And this was a huge Netflix crime documentary.
I was going to say, wasn't it like My Neighbor or something weird like that?
Yeah, a friend of the, I think they called it A Friend of the Family or something like that, like or Our Neighbor B, A Friend of the Family or something like that. And weird. It's this. So this is the dramatization of that story. Because he kidnaps the daughter. He falls in love with the daughter. It's played by McKenna Grace in the thing, and she's a child, and he's an adult male. But he keeps kidnapping her, and they fall in love with each other, and it's just odd. I don't know if I can bring myself to watch that because the documentary was tough enough.
See, that's one of those deals. When I see a documentary like that, I don't need to see the dramatized version of it. It's just messed up as it is, and I'm sure the performances might be great. The script may be good. It may be the fantastic tale, but I want you to see the documentary version of it. I don't want a dramatized version of it. I'm good, unless they're going to do something terrible like on FBI's Most Wanted to make it a bad dramatization and make it funny.
Yeah.
Not purposefully, then it's cool.
Well, I think for this one that really, because like in the story, like he starts an affair with the mother and the father. So they like trust him implicitly.
Wow.
Like, and I'm not talking together. It's not a devil's triangle.
No, it's separate.
Brett Kavanaugh would say. It's not a drinking game. So he like starts an affair with the wife, and they like she's in love with him. Then he starts an affair with the father, and he's in love with him. And then he like actually is doing all of this to get in close with the daughter he's in love with, and he kidnaps multiple times.
Yeah, the multiple times there is really mind-boggling.
I would say definitely go watch the documentary because it was good, but it was just so weird. It's a crazy tale. So we got what's next on the Monster High, the movie. That's about as far as I go with that one.
It's going to be on Paramount Plus for anybody who's got kiddos and you want to check it out. It's definitely a great story, and I'm excited to see how this one comes out. So
yes, I mean, the thing is, like, I never got into the Monster High stuff. So,
well, of course not. My daughter loves it. So I mean,
but that's
I
why,
didn't
like,
just
you have a
randomly
daughter.
find it.
My sons may, I don't know, and if they do, good for them. But find it. Go find it, kids. No, but they just never expressed interest, so it wasn't something that I got into. So I don't.
Yeah,
really
of
know
course,
much
totally fair. I understand that. We also do have Terrifier 2.
Yep.
That is out. Limited release. They're doing their first release this weekend, which I believe are primarily at Alamo Draft Houses, is what I've seen.
So the first movie was good. I liked the first Terrifier.
Okay.
All Hallows Eve, which was the first Art the Clown like movie that they did,
Mm-hmm.
was good too. But Terrifier is like really where it picked up and then blew up, and Art the Clown became this character.
Yeah.
It is gory.
Yes.
It is hard gory. Like it hits you in spots where you're like, this is tough.
It rides the line of Saw and Hellraiser, like the way it actually hits the gore strong head on, but it doesn't go as far as I would say Hostel.
Well, no, actually it does. This
You
second
think so?
one, they're both. Yeah, that cut in half scene is pretty hard.
Yeah, fair.
But this second one is boasting the most brutal kill ever.
What?
On screen.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it yet. I don't know.
Nor have I.
I have a hard time with movies that are 2.5 hours that are horror movies. I'm sorry, I do. I don't need to watch Titanic.
Well, my problem is I'm not going to watch it in theaters if it's that long. A horror movie to me, the perfect running time is 97 minutes. Like you should be able to knock everything out you need to in an hour and 37 minutes. That's perfect.
Yeah, I do. I think that sweet spot is at most 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just the area. I mean, I just finished watching Chopping Mall this past week, and it's 77-minute runtime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome.
I love those movies that were like 77 or 88 minutes.
Yep,
Those
just
horror
right in,
movies,
right
they work.
out, man. That's all you need. You're going to get the story. They're jumping right to the action, and then you're right out with some kind of conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, I will see Terrifier 2, but it's probably not going to be in theaters. In fact, I have not seen that it's playing around me, so I'm not sure. I have to double check.
Interesting.
But if you guys are interested in it, our friends over at Nerdbox are covering it pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
They're a great program for that, especially horror. And of course, Horror with Sturdy is probably going to check it out as well. So you check out their shows. We of course do cover horror on here, but you know us, we kind of run the gamut, so we can't get bogged down on any one thing or one movie.
Yeah, and we're never going to get stuck in one type of genre of horror. It's all the horror.
It's
If you
all
put horror on anything. Like right now, I'm in a thrillers mode. So I don't know why, but
That's
it's all
fair.
about the thrillers. I want the suspense and the lead up. I think it's fantastic.
It's a good one. That's a good one to be on. Amsterdam, which is the new David O. Russell movie starring Margot Robbie, Christian Bale,
Chris Rock, Michael Shannon, Zoe Saldana, David O. Russell, John David Washington.
Washington. I couldn't think of David.
Huge cast
huge cast
for this. Set in the 30s, it follows three friends who witness a murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history.
Yeah, and that's in theaters only. So go check that out. And for the kiddos, Lyle Crocodile, when the Prim family, Constance Wu, Scoot McNairy, and Winslow Fagley moves to New York City, their young son Josh struggles to adapt to new school and new friends. All of that changes when he discovers Lyle, a singing crocodile, Shawn Mendes, who loves bass, caviar, great music, living in the attic of his new home. The two become best of friends, and I'm not reading any more of this. It's for the kids. Go see it.
And this one, it looks like a claymation stop motion kind of deal.
And if you're in New York, the remake of All Quiet on the Western Front's out.
Yeah, you got to be kidding me right now. I saw that come up, and I was like, really? They remade that? Which, look,
it's a great movie. The original.
I'm 50-50 on remakes. I love the original of this so much. It is a legitimate classic. I had to read the book and then watch the movie in school. Loved it. And I think remaking this one makes sense because we're just going to update it as long as they don't change a damn thing. These are certain movies that when I want to remake, I don't want any new twists in it. I don't want anything special done to it. I just want it updated with a better cast, or newer cast, not better. Just a newer cast, newer people, a newer take on the original story is great. So I'm excited for that one.
So for anybody who doesn't know what it is, All Quiet on the Western Front is a story about World War I, the German soldier's perspective of a young soldier coming in, being a patriot and picking up the gun and going and fighting the war, and what the horrors that he sees along the way. So you go check it out. The original was a silent film, and it's still, I maintain, holds up against a lot of movies today.
Oh, I'll agree with that. Absolutely.
1917 is, by today's comparison, is something very closely tight knit to it, and I would still say on the original All Quiet on the Western Front is a better movie.
It's tough to beat it, especially as a war movie and just a human tale of it's kind of that whole like, how do we still have war after reading something like that?
I know, it's nuts. Okay, Bromates is coming out, starring Rob Riggle, Snoop Dogg, Taryn Manning, Lil Ray Howery, and a bunch more. When best friends, though polar opposites, Jonesy and Sid both break up with their girlfriends at the same time. They decide to move in together in a misguided attempt to help each other through their respective breakups. Alongside their friends, Angry Mike and Runway Dave, things move quick. This has gone off the rails already.
This is ridiculous.
Move quickly from heartbreak to hilarity to life and potentially death.
Oh wow, Bromate sounds absurd. That is definitely a watch at home. Although not to be confused with Bros, the new rom-com by Billy Eichner. That is just
I want to see that. I want to see that and review it.
To see that. Yeah.
I just haven't had a chance to get out to the theater. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go see that though.
We're gonna have to take like a weird day, like a Wednesday, and just try to see a double feature or something.
Yeah. Well, the next one up, I am super excited for, and I will be watching and reviewing today, and that's the new Hellraiser.
Yes.
A couple moves into an old house inhabited by the man's half brother, who escaped hellish torture from the Cenobites, but returns shorn of his skin. Cenobites are triggered by a Rubik's Cube. I don't know if this is a remake, because that's the exact premise of the first one. I thought this was a different take.
No, it's a reboot, I believe.
All right. It'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. Jamie Clayton will be playing Hellraiser. So really excited. Pinhead. God, I say Hellraiser. She'll be playing Pinhead, the leader of the Cenobites. So it's going to be fun to have a different take on him. Doug Bradley, obviously an icon, a legend as Pinhead. I don't think anyone really... Paul Thomas did a great job, but it's tough to beat Doug Bradley. I think they were both fantastic. But this should be fun. This should be fun. I'm excited for this. And anyone who gets upset being like, they can't cast a girl in that role is out of their mind. It is a murderous, torturous being. It doesn't matter what the sex is. They're going to just be there to murder and show you such sights.
I know. I can't wait to see how they play. And I want to see what the Cenobites look like now, like updated, because all the looks from the original movies of the Cenobites weren't exactly described in the book.
Mm-hmm.
There were different takes. There were more visual takes on what the book was doing, but Clive Barker did a really good job with it. So I'm anxious to see how it plays, because the Hell Priest, which is what Pinhead's name was, it was never Pinhead, until it got to the movies and we started calling him that. Did you change coffee mugs?
Well, that's my water mug. I set myself 2 water mugs ready to go. So I've got my Lost Boys with the fangs and my Halloween 2. So it's spooky season, so I'm going to be sticking with it. But my actual coffee mug is I Survived Camp Trustfall from Bloody Summer Camp. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's free on Tubi right now. Or go to Amazon, spend some money and support some people. Slasher 15 Productions. Check them out.
They're awesome. Luckiest Girl Alive is out as well, starring Mila Kunis, Scoot McNairy, Jennifer Beals. It looks like a thriller. I'm
super excited that we've got Scoot McNairy is doing a whole lot right now, and he's one of my favorite actors. He did Halt and Catch Fire was one of those shows he was on, and it was fantastic.
That's right. Yeah,
I loved him in that. He's done a couple other movies that are escaping me at this moment. Apologies for that. But definitely check him out. He's wonderful. So Luckiest Girl Alive should be great. And who doesn't love Mila Kunis, man? She's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Tar is coming out, which stars Cate Blanchett. It's limited, though. The film's set in the international world of classical music, centers on Lydia Tarr. Is a female conductor of an orchestra. Well, it says widely considered one of the greatest living composer-conductors and the first ever female chief conductor of a major German orchestra. That's awesome. It looks good. Like I like the trailer for it.
We also do have Operation Seawolf, which is a Frank Grillo, Dolph Lundgren movie. So that should tell you exactly what to expect.
Yeah, I'm skipping that one.
It's gonna be awesome, man. It's a World War II submarine movie where Dolph Lundgren is a grizzled commander brought back.
No, you're not allowed to read those unless you watch it and review it. That's your job. Grim Cuddy is on Hulu. Grim Cuddy is another horror movie. A suburban teen girl and her little brother must stop a terrifying internet meme brought to life by hysteria of their parents. All right. There you go.
Very cool. Significant Other, one that's going to be on Paramount Plus releasing, follows a young couple, Ruth and Harry, who take a remote backpacking trip through the Pacific Northwest, but things take a dark turn when they realize they may not be alone. So these are always weird for me. These ones where you have the very focused, just one or two characters wandering somewhere, stuck in the ocean, mountain climbing. Like those are always fun to me. I always like those thrillers. I like sort of that. You get stuck in your mind and you have to, you're your own worst enemy in some cases. So those are always fun. So I'm excited to see what that is. That is rated R, so make sure to put the kiddies away.
You should check out a movie that came out not too long ago called The Ritual. It's about 5 friends who are backpacking in Sweden.
You told me about that, and that's actually up. That's on my list after I've got, we have multitudes of movies to get through, but that's
a good horror
The Ritual
movie,
is definitely, I want to check that one out.
All right, let's go through the comments real quick, then get to the news.
Alrighty.
All right, we got a lot of comments, so I'm going back. Hold on. Okay, so that's where we were. Scene Snobs Cook-Off, yes. Sturdy's here till 10 because we love him and he loves us. I'm going to plug my phone into the store's audio so swearing could shock the seniors. I am not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Or if they freak out, tell them it's for charity.
Yeah, there you go. Man, see, we're doing this all for charity. It's fine.
I would love to be a taste tester. All right, Paul. We'll let you taste our chili.
Absolutely, buddy.
Oh, he left. I'm about to get off because I'm starting my new job at 9. Well, good luck on the new job, sir. Saturday morning cartoons are gone too. 4 hours of news on all major locals. Sad, just sad. Well, yeah. Well, streaming has everything now.
Exactly. I mean, and Hanna-Barbera is gone. Like a lot of them all moved to those streaming stations. So that's why I cut the cord. I mean, I cut the cord years ago. Once I was pretty much out on sports. I don't really need it anymore. I can just watch highlights.
That's fine.
Find them online somewhere.
Rewatching The Mighty Ducks, and Lester reminds me of Casey, the personality in the glasses. Which one was Lester?
I don't remember.
I heard Terrifier 2 is good. I heard it too. Some early reviews came back, and I heard it as well. I can't go to the theater for 2.5 hours, and that's the only way to watch it. They're not sending out screeners.
Lester was the kid with the red hair, wasn't he? With the glasses. There were only 2 people with glasses in the whole dang movie.
Are you watching the original Mighty Ducks or the TV show Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, it's got to be the original.
Then was his name Lester? I thought his name was something else. I don't know. So, okay, taking the wife to see Terrifier 2 and Barbarian on Monday. Very cool. That's going to be a hard watch back to back. Right. Oh, snap. She's going to be mad at you. I love it. At Liz, she's excited for both of them. Yeah, I'm sure. It's going to be fun. Let's go through. Oh, they're having a conversation. So I'm going to let them have the conversation we're going to get to. Oh, bros look so damn funny. You made me curse again. No, damn doesn't count.
No, damn's not a curse word.
Yeah, I'm not letting. No. Funny, we are actually reviewing that for episode 100, calling the episode Licking the Cookie with the Bros. I'm not doing that. I'm excited for this new Hellraiser 2. Honestly, I am happy that they made a female Pinhead. I mean, change it up. I don't care. Like, it was a tired premise. You had 10 movies of a male Pinhead, and one of them worked. So, shut up. Like,
yeah, no, honestly, and that's my big thing also with Hellraiser. They've gone so hard on the gore porn that there were so. I mean, you and I tried to watch Judgment, and it was tough.
It's a tough one.
It was tough. I struggled with that guy. One. And it's not his fault in any way, shape, or form. No, it's just the movie itself. Yeah, he was great. But the actual movie itself and what they did not work out super well.
I want to check out Cheer or Die. Oh, yeah. So there's a new Bring It On movie, and it's a horror movie.
It's going to be
Cheer
awesome.
or Die.
I'm super excited. As a huge Bring It On fan, I'm super stoked for that.
Same here, Liz. And the Cocaine Bear movie. Yes, the redhead. He could wear a bandana. He would wear a bandana.
Yep, Matt Doherty is his.
What was his name in it? It wasn't Lester. That's not what they called him.
They're saying Les Averman. Averman. They called him Averman. Averman. That's what it was.
I knew they called him something else.
His last name. That's what they went by.
Yep. Averman. All right, let's get to the news. So, out of the New York Post, I had to read this, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Megyn Kelly came out. Not somebody I completely dislike or anything. Like, I actually kind of like her. And I think NBC really did her wrong personally, but that's
that's a whole different thing.
But she is a little wacky in a lot of her beliefs. So I'd rather my husband have a one-night stand than sit and cry with another woman, is what she told Page 6 or something. Wow. Or no, Sirius XM. She hosts the Megyn Kelly show, and she was discussing the reports of imminent divorce between NFL quarterback Tom Brady and his supermodel wife Gisele Bundchen. Kelly read from Page 6 report that the couple hired divorce lawyers after what was described as an epic fight amid Bundchen's reported unhappiness over Brady's decision to play another season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I get that.
Kelly, I didn't know it was over him coming back.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. She is not happy about it. I mean, they've got 2 kids together. He's already made all of his money. At this point, what is it? Vanity? Just for his own sake? I mean, this is not a decision he went into respecting his wife or their children, because who knows what kind of injury could happen. The man's already had massive injuries happen that took him out for a season at a time. So his body's been through the ringer. So of course, as he's getting older now, you want to spend more time with the family. You want to be able to retire. Why wouldn't you? So we'll see how all that plays out.
It's tough. And it's sad to see that you can't work it out. Because it's and hopefully I don't know where it's going to go, because honestly, you never know with celebrity couples either.
You don't know what's going on in their mind. You don't know if that's really what they're portraying. There could be something else that they're upset about, but they're using that as the impetus because they don't want to throw their loved one under the bus.
Yeah, so I didn't know that's why they were breaking up, but like I thought it was kind of stupid of them to come back, because I mean you've done everything you can do, and you played. Here's the thing: you played for the Buccaneers and won a Super Bowl with them, and then retired.
Yeah,
you've reached it. You've reached the end. Unless you're hoping to beat the Giants in the Super Bowl,
that's all it is. He just wants Eli Manning to come back so he can finally beat him in a Super Bowl.
Well, Gisele and Eli have something in common. They both kept rings. They both took away rings from Tom Brady.
Oh, that's a good one.
So you get to you see this happening, and it's sad to see, especially because they have family together and they've been together for so long. I hope they can work it out, but I know you love football, man, but like, dude, that's your wife. You gotta listen to her.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying you have to listen to her and be like, go against it, and like everything your wife says you have to. No, but it's a partnership, and if this is the way she feels, I would understand it if you were 22 trying to get into the NFL and your wife is like, you got to give it up, and you're like, this is my dream, I'm working towards it. But you're in your 40s and you've achieved everything you could. You've proved everything you could. It's hard to argue that Tom Brady isn't the GOAT in football.
I mean, no, I do not. I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady.
I'm not saying I am, but
I will absolutely freely admit that he is one of the greatest players to ever play the game, to ever lace him up. The guy is fantastic. So,
because I mean, dude, the guy even cheated to the point where they had to make a rule.
Yeah.
Like, so even his cheating is on a level that is just great.
It's rule worthy. Is how great his cheating is.
Like the NFL actually had to come out and be like, all right, we got to make a rule about this. So give the guy, I don't know what he feels he needs to, and your wife is one of the most beautiful women on earth, and if this
successful as an entrepreneur, she is incredibly on point.
That's what I was going to say. She's like one of the richest women in the world, like on her own. Like she didn't need you, Tom Brady, for that. And if you lost all your money tomorrow, well, maybe not today, but a year ago, if you lost all your money, you'd be still fine for life with her money.
They would all be fine, and that's just one of the things that I don't get. Also, well, really fun because I was just thinking about this. I didn't bring this up to you yet, but so I read an interview where David Bowie's wife, obviously he's gone now, but she still insists on calling him her husband.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, he may be gone, but he never stopped being my husband. And that's Iman, amazing supermodel. And it's funny we bring this up because I read that line, that tag, that descriptor, supermodel. And at some point in the 60s, 70s, 80s, that was a thing, man. In the 90s, still huge. Supermodels was a thing. It was a thing to achieve to. Nowadays, there are so few of them. I feel like that term supermodel, because so many people are used from such a vast array of looks, from different styles, and just who they are and what they put out there. That yes, you have some models who are more haute couture, but then you have other ones who are, everyday J. Crew models. So I feel like the supermodel term is definitely one of the last few. Would be Gisele Bündchen. I think she's one of the last real supermodels. There's very few of them still around.
I would say the only one really around today that's in the height is the Kylie Jenner.
Okay.
And the reason influencers killed it, because now supermodels were the ones modeling the things. They're modeling all the things that companies want to sell you.
And they were also the muses, man. You'd have people who made things specifically for them. For their body type. We're like, I made this dress for you. That I feel like that happens less now.
Like Kim Kardashian's, in my opinion, not a model. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman.
She models things.
She models things, but she does more than that. So she's an influencer, and that's the thing. Influencers can model, but influencers are just that. She started out, I think by and large, Kim Kardashian is probably like the second biggest influencer, but she's the biggest now. But Paris Hilton, I think, sort of started that.
I'd say Paris Hilton definitely kicked that off. Once we got into the social media platforms, I'd say, the Kardashians definitely rode that to the top. They took
they're the ones that I say leave the biggest impression.
Yeah, I'll agree with that
for sure. But so when influencers came in, I think it just shoved models out. And you're right, Gisele is one of, I say Gisele and Heidi Klum because they're around the same age, around that the Victoria's Secret, were the last two mega supermodels.
Yeah, I'd say those were the ones where they really hit a huge that mark. Now, Ashley Graham, another model. There are well-known models. I don't want to take that away. Yeah. There are still models who do a great job, but it is their job modeling, and they're not. They become influencers, or they go from influencing to modeling. But you're right. There is no more that supermodel, the Kathy Irelands and, the Kate Mosses that we grew up with, which thank God there are no more Kate Mosses. I struggle with that too. Cause everybody is beautiful in its own way. So I always found that
I disagree.
That hard. Okay. Fair. I mean,
my body is not beautiful in its own way.
Hey man, you got a lot going. Maybe you just
I do have a lot going. You're right.
Maybe you just need to look at those calves again and go, God, I got some sexy calves. There's something.
That's because they have to hold up the rhinoceros body on top of them. That's the only
come
reason
on, it's getting less than that.
Liz says, yes, the red hair. He would. We read that one. I kind of didn't believe him when he said he was retiring. I mean,
nobody did. Really did. I mean, it's the Brett Favre thing all over again.
Yeah,
which that
is because he
trash.
It's it's not even just the Brett Favre thing, because I don't even want to talk about that guy. But
piece of crap.
It's the LeBron James thing. It becomes a pageantry show. Unlike I'm going to do this next, and thank God I like LeBron James. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, we're gonna have this big announcement. It's like, I'm gonna go here, or I'm gonna do this or that. And he had to make like a commercial. Tom Brady had to make a commercial to say, I may be retiring. Am I walking towards the field, or am I walking away? I don't know.
Right.
And it's like, come on, man. And I don't want to put him down, because I'll give it to him. Tom Brady for years focused on football and not doing any type of marketing or anything like that, or endorsements. And I respect him for that.
Absolutely.
But then when he came close to retirement, once I saw him start showing up in commercials and having personality and such more, I was like, okay, he's getting ready for retirement.
Yeah, because he's becoming the elder statesman, and there's definitely a level, there's a change that happens when you reach that point where you're like, all right, I'm just going to cash in and get all the money I can now, and then wrap it up. And there's no reason to not do that. You know, he doesn't need to be a sideline reporter. He doesn't need to be in the booth. He's not going to do those things. He may not even coach. He may just simply be done once he hangs them up. That might be it. I mean, he's made enough money. He's made a fantastic name for himself. He doesn't need to do anything else. But of course, I'm not in the man's mind. I don't know what's pushing him or what he's starting to feel. Like, we're all reaching that midlife crisis point where you start to go, the past is slipping away. And it's tough to try to keep reaching out and grabbing for those things and realizing you can't do them anymore. So I can only imagine for a professional athlete who's been as wildly successful as he has. Same thing with Jordan, man. Jordan took too long to hang him up, but hey, when you're that good, do what you want.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Jordan, I think, pushed it a little too far too. But Tom, like, come on, man. Just like ask your wife. Stop at the divorce lawyers. Go, Tom Brady. I know you're watching this show because
well, of course it is.
We're the goats. We're the goats of
huge in Tampa.
Whatever it is we're doing. Yeah, we're Tampa's our number one market. So, Tom, let me talk to you for a second. Here's what you need to do. Just quit. Nobody blames you. You've done it all. You've done everything you could. You even got Gronk out of retirement to come back and win a Super Bowl with you.
Twice.
Now go and just go to your wife, say, hey, I screwed up. I'm quitting. I'm here for you. That's what it's about. And be with her. For the sake of your kids, for the sake of your love for your wife, go and do it, because we know you're bummed. We see you. You're not playing at your best right now because you're going through this. So just quit. Leave them. Who cares? You'd have nothing to, like, when Andrew Luck was just like, hey, I'm done. I wasn't against him. But I was like, but you could have done this before the season started.
See, I disagree there. I think sometimes you take that one more shot and you go, oh, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's definitely what happened with him. I think he got hit and it rocked him and he went, I can't do this anymore.
I get it. And again, totally. I'm not against him because it's a contact sport. I mean, listen, I've played it. I know, and I get not wanting to do it, hanging it up.
We saw our heroes like Eric Dickerson just being in a freaking wheelchair because of that, of the concussions and the damage sustained over the years.
But I think Andrew Luck, where he was wrong in it, where he just made the decision at the wrong time, because it was like first week, and it's like, I don't think that was a rock. I think he had been thinking, because there was some news coming out, like, he's just acting different, acting a little crazy about it, didn't really want to play and then all of a sudden he quits, and it's like, to me, it's like, I don't know, commitment thing, stick it out through the season or whatever, then retire. But whatever. He's gone. He did it for his own health. Good on you. I got nothing against you. I think you were a good quarterback. I don't know if you're a good guy or not. I don't know you personally, but Tom Brady, you can walk away. Like, Tom Brady's at a level where you can walk away from whatever you want and nobody's going to blame you except for Giselle. So walk away from football, go make up with your wife, and do the things. Be a dad, a full-time dad. Mm-hmm. Just enjoy yourself. Make some Subway commercials. You're good.
The only things you're going to have in this whole life, you're going to lose fans. Fans are going to come and go. People are going to like you, then they're going to hate you. I mean, everybody can be fickle and finicky as the wind, so you never know. So don't push that. Why wouldn't you focus on your wife and your child, the family, the people that you love and have committed to? I mean, they're going to be around for the next 30, 40 years, as long as you're alive. So, that's always mind-boggling. Hey, I held out for 2.5 hours on the catharsis.
You did. I'll give you that. Speaking of influencers, clearing the bar, LSU gymnast celebrates being top-ranked influencer after making millions. Olivia Dunn. Good for you.
All right. Olivia Dunn. That's awesome. Fantastic.
Gymnasts, especially women, have had a pretty raw deal for a long time, and it's good to see them winning. Like, more than just winning in gymnast stuff. I said that wrong, but whatever.
That's okay.
I'm okay.
We know what you're going for.
So all right, let me see. Let me pick something out here.
What else you got? I have a fun one. Here's a lovesick hairstylist seeks meaningful relationship, but suitor must earn $150,000. It's headlines like this that have made it very difficult for me to date, because I continue to meet some of these people, and especially being in Northern Virginia, some of the pool of whom I've met, I cannot say this about every single person here in Nova, but of the ones I've met and been on dates with, there are a lot of people worried about who you are, what you're making, and where you're going. Like what you do, not like who you are as far as in your business life. Like they're concerned about what do you do for a living, what money do you make, and what kind of future are we going to have due to the money you make. Because I have a lifestyle that I'm trying to, continue forward with. I struggle with that, man. I have a real problem with that. So being someone who does not make that much money, I'm constantly like, oh, dating's kind of hard. So reading one of these, now mind you, this is also in Europe. So it's 150,000 pounds.
No.
So I'm
and read it again. What was the headline?
Lovesick hairstylist seeks meaningful relationship, but suitor must earn $150,000.
Yeah, because the absurdity of that is just, first of all, lovesick hairstylist. Now I'm not putting down hairstylists because there's some hairstylists like do really well for themselves, and it's an art. It really is.
Oh yeah.
And we know.
I know some who. I know a couple who travel the world. They're international hairstylists. They're fantastic.
But let's face facts. This one probably isn't one of those artists.
Yeah.
Listen, go back to work at what is it? Clippers Cuts or whatever the name of that store is. Haircuttery. Shut up. You're not lovesick. You're a gold digger. And we got nothing for you here. So, and that's not love. I'm sorry. That's not love. Love doesn't have a price point.
Yeah. See, that's the big thing there is like, I complain about dating because it's hard because it gets expensive. And people go, well, if you find the right person, it shouldn't cost much. I'm sorry. But right now, dinner and a movie, that's well over $100.
I will tell you. And I didn't, when I met my wife, I made pretty good money.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it didn't cost. It really didn't. Like we went out, we did things, we had a good time. And we always were like, yeah, let's split it, whatever. Who cares? It was very equal down the line. Because me, her, I would have spent anything on.
Absolutely,
she asked, and she never did. But because that was just smitten right off the bat. But I never even bought drinks for girls. I was like, no, I'm not.
No, you did not. You were adamant about, but you were very different. There was that Jersey side of you that's like, I never buy no nothing. It's like I just walks in and they're like, yo, and I'm like, hey, and then like you falls in love. Like that's how you did it. It was amazing. I, on the other hand, am more of the doting man who wants to woo. And
I'm telling you, be more like me.
You have to spend more money to woo.
No,
I'm a fan of
wooing.
You,
if you meet the right girl, you do not have to spend any money. First of all, if you don't spend any money, you'll probably have more girls because for some reason they're going to look at you like, what? Like, how dare you not spend the money on me? I'm interested in you now. It's weird. It's so odd. But like when you meet the right girl and it's like a connection, like, no, like I spend a lot of money. Like my wife has very high tastes in life, but she makes money herself, so like, what am I going to tell her? No, you're not allowed to spend your money on that.
It's different when you're a wife. Because now, you're married, so you already got through all this part. I'm still in that very beginning stage.
Our first official,
I need to go like meet people.
Our first unofficial first date was hot chocolates at Starbucks and good conversation. We had a wonderful time. Yep. Our actual, the one that she makes me say is our official first date. The unofficial first date was that we couldn't wait to see each other and we had to just get together and we only had an hour to do it. The first official first date, I spent money on dinner, but we traveled around. We took walks. We went to a bookstore, and we wrote inspiring notes in books at McKay's.
Oh, that's dope.
Wrote inspiring notes in random books and put them back on the shelves for people. Like, you are beautiful. You're so awesome. Stuff like that. Put them back on the shelves. Then we went and we got ice cream. Well, we had dinner. We had dinner at Okra's.
Awesome.
Because she's Cajun, like half Cajun. So I was like, all right, let's go to Okra's.
Yeah, don't do that bayou.
And it's not like if the meal is going to be a heavy price, it's going to be on my side. The scale is weighed down on a certain side there. Not my wife. So I can portion control, and if I don't have a lot of money or something. But I got to be honest, my wife, date wise, I've never had to worry about spending too much money.
Well, you're
even,
also
like,
excited.
gift-wise and stuff
You're
like
excited to spend the time with her, and you have that understanding of what's more meaningful between the two of you. So you're able to do those things. And I just want to have that introduction to someone where I can get to learn those things. It just costs money.
I am. Yeah. Well, no, actually, it cost me $0 to meet my wife.
Well,
I know the introduction was to her friend, but if you remember, we were at a bar that night, and I don't.
Oh,
drink.
really? And who was working?
I know. I'm just. It was more for the audience effect, but I don't buy girls drinks, and I did not buy her one, and I don't drink, so I drank water. So that night cost me $0, and I walked away with a wife.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. That's pretty awesome.
So it works. It's just connection, and good connection. Unlike this hairstylist, will not charge you for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Another one, though, maybe one that I could have an opportunity with, is a body modification fan. And this is someone who is one of my favorite humans to look at. I find it difficult not to stare at them. They became a genderless dragon. They have tattoos all over their body. They got the implants, bald, got implants on their head to have horns and random horns everywhere and bumps all over their head.
What?
Then tattooed their entire face, have all the piercings along their brows. They got their nose actually sucked back in so it looks like a dragon's snout. They have cobwebs and scales tattooed all over their body here through their neck and face. And they miss their old life as a banker. It's the full headline.
I think you just reached a speechless in me.
I really did. This is,
and I haven't even seen the picture. I
gotta send this to you. This is too ridiculous.
I gotta move on because I don't know what to say to that. It's just messing with my brain. Every sentence that you just said is just completely thrown me. Oh God, I'm gonna have to look at it, aren't I?
I just said it to you, bro. It's pretty wild. The tongue is the one that gets me. I mean, it is a split tongue all the way down. It is pretty wild. But the fact that they missed their life as a banker.
I quit. I'm out.
We only have 29 minutes left. Come on, stay strong.
No, I'm not done with the show. I'm done with that. I'm done with Dragon. I gotta move on because
you don't want to body mod and become something different. If you,
I want a body mod, but I want to body mod and look like Jason Statham.
That's fair. I get that.
It's a different look I want.
That's a good look. I don't know
if I drive around like this, say, and talk like this, and beat people up, say, and then dive at some point in my life and get that diver's body.
So you just want to be the transporter?
I love it. Yeah,
and
I
Crank.
love those movies. I love the transporter. I don't care what anybody says. When he fights in that oil slick, I'm like, that's the greatest thing ever.
It's pretty ridiculous, but I am a fan. I still like when he's getting attacked by the crazy nurse in the hospital scene where they're just trying to escape the little clinic. Oh, I love that.
And then Crank. You just got to get Crank in there because it was so off the wall.
I mean, ridiculous. He's just got to hump Amy Smart to stay alive. But the way they shot it, it was just so flash. It's like his so face, and then her face,
Remember he jump started his heart by putting the thing on his tongue.
Yeah,
so
the
crazy.
car battery, the car. Yeah,
the movie was just nuts. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so Out of Tune Chicago mayor sings TikTok karaoke as city's violent crime increases. Chicago mayor Lori Lightfoot posted a TikTok of her singing karaoke on Wednesday as the city experiences a citywide 37% increase in violent crime when compared to 2021. You got to see the way she's dressed. You've got to see the way she's dressed. It is bonkers. I'm not advocating for this, so I'm not putting it up. The winner of the Chicago Sings karaoke competition will receive $5,000 prize. So she's doing a karaoke competition on TikTok for Chicago.
Okay.
But not stopping crime. Maybe we should all move to Metropolis, Illinois.
Yeah, Metropolis sounds good right now. I think Metropolis is the way to go.
Yeah. What do you got?
So I've got one here. A Cape Cod diver was just swallowed and spit out by a humpback whale. So can you imagine Michael Packard for 30 to 40 seconds being inside the mouth of a humpback whale, one of the largest creatures on Earth, and you have to contemplate for that long just in their mouth, whether you're going to get swallowed or not. It gives
So it's a
Jonah a
Sarlacc
new
pit.
perspective. It's like a Sarlacc pit. Exactly. Yep.
I like how all of our explanations are easier made when we think of Star Wars.
Oh, every time. I mean, it simplifies it. It's really cool. This happened an early morning where he was just hanging out doing his lobster stuff, and all of a sudden he felt this huge shove, and the next thing he knew, it was completely black. That's pretty terrifying, man. I gotta say, I don't know about whales. Whales mess me up anyway. Like, they're awesome, and I respect and love whales. I think whales are phenomenal creatures and incredible, and each one of them having their own specialty is so cool, but they are terrifying. The idea of anything that huge, like when you see pictures of people, divers swimming alongside of them, and it's like, nah. If that thing got angry just a little bit, it made me take a while to move, but if you're not paying attention and it just comes out of the deep, that's the scary thing. Something that huge could be in front of you and you would never know because it's too dark. And then all of a sudden it just fucking shows up. No, that's terrifying. That's
Another one
so
for the
scary.
jar. Another one for the jar.
Oh.
I like this. I like this charity thing. So I was looking. So I'm looking up, and they had a thing about the Mets. The Mets everything relies on this for the Mets playoff success, and then kind of what they're talking about, their ace performances and things, because they're doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and I looked up the standings because I have been out of touch with baseball this season. I really haven't touched, except for following Aaron Judge and his and congratulations again on beating 61. But I did not realize this. There is a very good possibility that one of the New York teams could go to the World Series.
Really?
The Yankees are in first place. And I'd like to point out that the Red Sox are in dead last in the AL East.
That's okay. We'll be champions next year. You'll notice that whenever we're dead last one year, the next year we're probably going to the playoffs, if not making it to the championship game, if not making it to the series.
There's a new curse. There's a new curse. There's the curse of the judge.
Now, look, you can take the Judge, and he has done great, and he has hit as many home runs as Babe Ruth. Congratulations. More than Roger Maris. He's done it. Great job. That's all I got for you.
That's it.
That's all you're getting from me.
Well, the National
He's
League.
He's no Nomar Garcia Parra. All right.
Oh, get out of here.
Nomar.
So the NL East, the Braves and the Mets are tied for first place.
Wow. I would be fine with the Mets. The Mets can win. I don't dislike the Mets at all. The Mets are a fantastic team. It's my aunt's favorite team. That was one of the first baseball games I ever went to. The Yankees can go screw themselves. Get out of here.
You
get out of here.
Guess what I have here? Your Boston hat.
Oh, good. I need that back.
Yeah, you gotta come over and get it.
Yeah, I do. I desperately need my Boston hat. I was looking around. I was like, I don't have my Boston hat.
Sturdy says, "Let's go Braves," because they are tied first. Nah, Mets are gonna take it. Mets are gonna take it in the NL. I want a new Subway series. I want a 2022 Subway series.
Yeah, that
would be amazing. That was such a great series to watch in 2000.
Mm-hmm. That was wild,
especially being from there. Like it hit right.
Yeah, you were able to get everybody. I mean, well, of course, when you say from there, it was across the way, bridge and tunnel back. But
it was
but
one
you were
train
there.
ride. Yeah. See, so I love the New York Post. It just pops everything up as it goes. So Tom Brady struggling after Giselle hired divorce lawyer. So quit, and go apologize to your wife. That's it. That's all I'm going to say on that because we talked about it. But here's another one that's pretty good.
Fair.
Man slapped after proposing with a ring pop at a Toronto Blue Jays game.
What?
So the man sits down, gets on one knee, opens it up, and it is a ring pop, and the girlfriend slapped him and threw her soda on him.
What?
I will say this. I will bet you, because of the reaction that she gives in the video.
Yeah.
It looks fake. It looks like they were...
Oh, they were just staging it?
But they played it up. Like, they stuck with it. But I bet you that was a TikTok thing.
Yeah, but if you're selling the bit, I'm okay with the bit if you sell it.
I'm okay with a bit when you're a professional.
Forget that noise, man. If you can pull a good bit, do the bit.
Nah, I get you. I agree. Remember when bits weren't allowed in our world?
I do remember that many moons ago.
And we would always come up with them.
Still coming up with bits.
The Indians will win it all this year. Yes, I refuse to use their new name. Do they have a new name?
I don't even know. Cleveland baseball team.
That's how far off I am.
I mean, I used to be so heavily into sports. It was ESPN every night. Like, I mean, I was that guy. The top 10 is how I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And now I'm out. No clue.
I don't know their new name, so like I can't find it.
Who even bothers? I do have
a fun Guardians.
Headline. Oh, okay.
They're the Cleveland Guardians.
When did that happen?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I had no idea. And actually, I don't mind the Guardian. Oh, you know what? I'm so tired of people getting mad. And sorry, George.
No, do it.
But
go.
I'm going on a rant. I don't care that they're not called the Redskins anymore. I don't care if they're not called the Indians anymore. And it's not even a matter of like, well, these people, like they were. It was horrifying. It was terrible what we did to Native American indigenous people. But barring all that, like
our ancestors, let's make that our ancestors did.
Yeah, I know. Your ancestors did.
Not we. Because we didn't do shit.
Did. Your ancestors did that.
No, they did. I mean, in Connecticut, we tried to wipe out the Mashantucket people.
Only yours.
That's what our people did.
Only Casey's.
Yeah, only mine. Only my ancestors were the worst.
The Trail of Tears leads back to a plot.
Right to a plot. That's where it was. It's some plot of land, some land of the plot. You know, it's there.
The Manhattans just took the name.
Exactly. Yeah, you went Powhatan. I'll be Manhattan.
No, so taking all that away, I don't care that they changed the name because you know what? If the Dolphins changed their name, nobody would bat an eye.
Nobody give a shit.
Except for Dolphins fans, but seriously, I mean, there's like
7 of them.
So, you know, and most of them just are Dolphins fans because that's this jersey that was on sale.
Well, because of the colors, man. Who doesn't love those colors? That teal green with that sexy sort of like orange. It's bright. It's fun. It's vibrant.
I don't. It's such hypocrisy. I do not care. Let them change their name. And who cares if a owner or whoever is in charge is like, hey, we're changing the name. And yes, let me tell you, if the Giants changed their name, it wouldn't bother me because they're a New York team. I care about them, but not enough to be like, it's got to be the Giants or it ruins everything for life. Get over it. They don't have offensive names anymore.
Like, and how many different times do we try different chants? We've got G-Man or Go Big Blue. Like, there's always some different. We throw on a different name. We create a different persona for our teams anyway. Except maybe the Bills. I feel like Bills fans always scream Bills. So there's nothing else there. Let's go Buffalo. Yeah. You know, you can cheer for the city that you're cheering for. You don't need a team name so specific. And with this whole, like, there's heritage in the name. Yeah, but there's a lot more heritage in what it was named after, you know? Well, so maybe we should be respectful of that more so than a fucking sports team that we're cheering for laundry and these millionaires who are making tons of money. And all we care about is just adding them more billions. To what purpose? To what end? We're not cheering for our heroes anymore that we grew up with. We're cheering for laundry. We're cheering for jerseys. It's come on.
You know, honestly, Bills are the only ones that I would advocate do need a name change. And that's only because I don't like Bills. I don't like people named Bill.
Oh, you've got a problem with Williams.
Just the Bills that I have.
And then it just going back to Bills. I follow that.
I mean, your name is William. Go with Will. Why change it to a B?
What's wrong with Willie?
It's getting ridiculous. And I guarantee you my uncle is watching this like, you son of a gun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not cursing. I didn't hit it that time.
You did great. You did great. You old son of a gun, you.
You old so-and-so. You know, so I do agree. Like, I don't care about the name change. It's like this. It's like the Stars and Bars you were talking about. Mm-hmm. There is no heritage. There's no heritage of your team was named the Indians, so we should be advocating to keep it because for 110 years, you know what also happened 110 years ago that we probably shouldn't advocate for? Lots of things.
There were lots of things, man. That level, you know, 110 years ago, women couldn't vote.
You know, if 110 years ago is your sweet spot, let me tell you the things that you're not supposed to use today that are convenient.
How about, you know, outhouses? Outhouses were commonplace 110 years ago. I'm happy we went to indoor plumbing. Aren't you? And that was an upgrade that people did complain about. I have to poop in my home. Ew. Like, that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm so over it. Let's go to something a little more lighthearted. How do you feel about what's going on in North Korea?
Which part? What is currently happening? The fact that they shot a missile all the way over Japan, literally over mainland Japan, a missile, ballistic missile shot over it. So they had to kick the air raid sirens and everything else. That was some terrifying stuff, man.
Dude, now remember a few years ago when we got the ballistic missile heading towards Hawaii alert, and everyone lost their collective shit, even us here. Oh, damn, another one. I think that's $7 or $8. I forget.
$9.
Well, I think it's 9 in total. You had 3.
Yeah, 9 in total. Yeah,
I have 6. Okay, so I'm glad you're keeping track and keep
I've
track.
Literally got it written down. I will be writing that. So these sheets will be going every week.
Perfect. So, and everybody lost it because it's a ballistic missile coming towards Hawaii, and it wasn't real. Well, guess what? Japan just went through that, and it was real.
It was real.
It's insane. Like,
they could see it. They could imagine looking up and seeing a missile that is dedicated for your homeland, wherever it may be in your homeland. You get to see it coming for you. That's terrifying.
You know what completely boggles my mind when it comes to these nations' leaders, the top 2 that are threatening basically nuclear war, is one that's a disgruntled old man that like basically has the ideals of a disgruntled old man from like the 50s.
Exactly. He's dying, and that's what happens. You just go back to, wanting your legacy secured and being upset at everyone else around you because not in my day. This isn't the way things were when it was better in my time. Well, no, it was not fucking better in your time.
Well, no, I know
you have rose-colored glasses and you're just remembering things differently.
But that's the thing. I'm not even talking about the rose-colored glass. I'm talking about the anger of like snowflakes. But you guys, if your bacon wasn't crispy enough, you beat your wives. Like,
yeah, seriously.
like it's not. It's ridiculous how offended that all those good-for-nothing generations just freaked out over the smallest inane stuff. And I'm not talking about the coal miners that were disgruntled just for having to work in a coal mine. I'm talking about guys who did everyday things, drove milk trucks and then would come home and beat their wives.
Yeah.
And then wonder why they're sleeping
Beat their
with the vacuum
kids,
salesman.
Get drunk and pass out and be assholes. It's just, no, man.
That's 10. We reached 10.
Oh no, I did. Wait, okay, it's got to be.
Yes,
you're right.
Sorry.
Okay,
that counts.
All right.
You're right. It's the legit. Like, what would you let your kids say in school?
Yes. Okay, I like that. That's a good. Okay, fair.
So, so we get to this point where, the ones that think everybody's offended today, but everybody who's like offended by something today, like women offended by rampant sexual assaults that occur in everyday life that they have to fear for themselves, or people of a different race who fear for the fact that I don't know, we judge and at the lightest we just judge people on their race, but there's people in this country dying because of their race. So that's kind of an okay thing to be offended by, I think. That's not a snowflake issue.
No, snowflakes are the people who legitimately get hurt and butt hurt over small inconsequential things, which really looking at it, there's a large political group that I see is really failing at length because they get upset over everything.
You mean all of the Redskins fans that got mad when they changed the name to the Commanders? They're not snowflakes. That's the legitimate cause to be angry about, but not the fact that black people are just saying, hey, our lives matter. You're right. You know what matters? Redskins' lives. The team, by the way, not the indigenous people that it's based on in a cartoonish fashion.
Yeah. No, they're not a fan of the people. They don't want to discuss people and persons. They want to discuss objects and items and, things that they hold dear in their little strange worlds that they've compartmentalized everything. And if it doesn't fit in this little box, then it must be terrible.
I'm not laughing at the situations or the matters or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing at the hypocrisy and the stupidity of people I know. Like, you know, I'm proud to come from the grandfathers I did.
Yeah,
because my grandfathers were, and I'm not saying all the men in my family. I'm talking about my grandfathers, just specifically them.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfathers actively talked about these things, and I think this is where I get a lot of it. And my grandmothers too, especially my dad's mother, were actively outspoken against racism. And like it was a weird time because not a lot of people were, and as a kid, that was an impression on me, and that's where I get it from. But they were everyday men. They didn't beat their wives. They did it was just they were different men who were trying to change what they had seen. And I applaud them for that. And now I'm not standing out trying to say that, be like, my grandfathers were the best, because I have plenty more I can talk about. But my point there being, they were a very small minority of white men in a time where white men were freaked out on their own kids and wives because they were offended by something that was so minuscule or such an inconvenience. Like maybe their paper wasn't on the table that they like it on now. Yep. And they didn't tell anybody.
they got home at a certain time and they expected certain things at that time, even though it might be different tomorrow. And it might be different the day after that. It might be different day after that. So they basically want mind readers, and they're just pricks, man. Some people are just dicks.
I like we changed the day to Indigenous Peoples Day from Monday, but we got to do better. I hate the word woke. I like representation matters more. I do agree. Yeah,
I agree, Liz, because representation absolutely matters. Woke is a weird term, and unfortunately, whenever people want to start using that term negatively because they feel like they can just roll all of these things into a simple, once again, it's got to fit something simple, something they can attack, something they can feel good about because they took down somebody and they brought someone down. That it's funny how a lot of people who tend to also be religious really enjoy tearing other people down, find that fascinating.
Well, woke was misused so much. It's almost like global warming or ozone layer or climate change. And the correlation I'm putting there is scientists call it something all the time, something different. Right now it's climate change and it's moving again. They're changing again because the other side who opposes it will take it and use those words against it and just to push their agenda. So scientists are, the ones who are dealing in logic are like, all right, we have to somehow market this differently again because they just keep using words against us. And that's how woke sort of went as well. You had so many people who pushed too hard on one way, and really was like, like I'd say
we've discussed this before. You need to have your social justice warriors. You have to have the people who push it so far in one direction.
I disagree with that. I just believe in justice.
You got to have people. Nice. You got to have people who push things in such far directions on both sides, so that us normal folk can kind of rationalize and take a look and go, maybe we need to find a more middle ground here. Maybe there's a place for all of us to exist and for all of us to get along and for all of us to carry on with our own lives while enjoying ourselves in this brief period of time we have, for we're all but dust and shadows, players but on a stage, and we have such a small amount of time that we have to really enjoy it and make an impact and have fun and live it and live our life and live freely and not fear persecution and fear being shit on, because that's there's another one.
That's 11.
That's 11. We got the 11.
5 from you, 6 from me.
Yeah. Wow, I really should not get tuned up and talk about this in the morning.
Okay. Well, let's slow it down a little bit because we are coming to the end of the show.
We're the last 8 minutes, but I do just want to wrap that whole thought up and just say
go ahead.
I agree 100% with Sturdy. When you start caring about people, you start worrying about other people's considerations, their feelings, who they are, and just maybe you might get along with this person. It goes back to what we discussed with All Quiet on the Western Front. It's a great story about, I'm only killing this guy because he's wearing a different uniform. It doesn't mean we can't be best friends. It doesn't mean in another life we couldn't be fishing buddies, and I think that's something that we lose sight of because everyone gets all up in their nethers thinking they're the most important. They're so worried about themselves, and it becomes such a me culture and me generation. And why don't I have my things? That unfortunately we lose sight of everything else that's important. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Love you guys.
That was a good rant, but I want to calm things down. We need the cool down period. What you got going on this weekend, my friend?
Well, this weekend, it's going to be pretty chill. There's some stuff going on here locally at the Mountain View State Park. that I'm going to go check out with River. Is always a fun. Skyline. Or Sky Meadow State Park. That's it. I was putting them all together. Yeah, it's a wonderful park. So one of our good friends, Zoe, used to work there. So very excited to pop over there again. Going to be kind of doing the Cox Farms thing because it's that fall time. So there's nothing better than going around.
Can I give you an alternative to Cox Farms?
Please do. Any pumpkin patch and cider area will be fully accepted.
In Winchester, there's a place called West Oaks Farms.
Okay.
It's right next door to my kid's school. And I will tell you, they're having their fall harvest festival.
Ooh.
They've got a huge corn maze.
Oh, yes.
You know, at night it's a haunted one, but during the day, it's a very cool one to go through. And they do it up. They have unbelievable views. They have one of the best farmers markets I've ever been to, where it's just amazing. I would implore you to maybe give that a try, especially because it's the Fall Harvest Festival.
I think I'll do that. I think that'll be good.
Live music, everything.
Yeah, I'm in. That would be a much more fun, enjoyable thing. Cox Farms is great, and I don't want to put any place down. The last time I went, it was just a lot of lines, and I struggle with that when it's like you're trying to move from one thing to the next, and it's like
you won't have to worry about that here. And they have two very fun parks for kids to play on, like fun stuff to play up top, and then they have this huge John Deere tractor turned into a play place.
What? Oh, that's pretty
very
awesome.
Cool. It's safe. Don't worry about it.
Oh, but yeah, no, I mean, I grew up playing on a rusty 1952 tractor where, it was very different. We had a rusty rake, and it was funny because one day we went sledding down our hill, and the hill was very large, and there was a bunch of tractor equipment all set up at the bottom of it. And one of my buddies I was sledding with, it looked like he had hit one of the pieces of equipment. So I'm bombing down to check on him, and he gets up laughing as I pull up, freaking out. Yeah. So me and tractors, careful to work around those.
So I think it's happening Saturday from 11 to 6 there, if you try that. But we might try and get out to that. But this weekend, my wife and I are going to go to my buddy Steve, who owns the Alamo here. He's also a filmmaker, and he makes documentary films based on music.
Okay.
And he has a new movie coming out about Hammerjacks.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. I saw that. Yes.
The great Baltimore rock venue from the 80s into the early 90s, which is back in a form now, but it was like this big place where huge bands always played. And he made a documentary about it, and they're having the premiere on Saturday, and we were invited. So we're going to go check it out.
Oh, that's very cool, bro. That's super exciting. One of my friends, Brian, used to play at Hammerjacks back in the day. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And so like that's what we got planned. We're super excited about it, and we're getting into it. So
that's fantastic, man. That'll be a good weekend. Good weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be.
And then prepping for next weekend is going to be a big part of this weekend, making sure we have all the clothes ready to pack up and head on over.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's save that for next week's episode.
We will. That's our tease.
Because we do have an episode in the morning to do, and then something to do that night, and then something to do the next night. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be go, go, go.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening along. Remember, tomorrow we are dropping Does It Suck? Our new episode where we did Metro. So you can go check that out. That will be up on our YouTube channel. But remember, we have episodes of the Scene Snobs podcast out from Tuesday. Real Combat is back with season 2. New episode of Matt Burns versus Chris Ridings.
Super excited for that one. I love both of those cats. It's going to be fun.
We got a lot of good reviews on that. So go check it out. It's on YouTube now. Of course, we did our 3-year anniversary party show last night. You can go check that out anytime or listen to it. And guys, we just want to say thank you again for joining. We want to also thank our awesome patrons. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, Chris S, Chris H,
Dan, John B, Ron, Jason, AJ, Radar, and John W. We love you all. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, you help us keep the lights on, and you guys are amazing. And if you guys want to join, we have 3 tiers available, all different prices, things like that. And it helps us go a long way in keeping these shows going and stuff like that. So patreon.com/thescenesnobs is where to go.
And make sure to check us out on our Discord. Join and be part of the Snobs Nation, where we all get together. We have fun conversation. We basically carry on all the stuff we do here, just in a better form and cooler format by some awesome moderators who we are super grateful for. So it'd be great to see you. Make sure to join up so you can stay in touch with your favorite snobs.
And guys, remember to hit that like button on this video if you're watching it. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to us. If you're not on YouTube right now, head over and check out the Scene Snobs on YouTube and subscribe, because it helps us go a long way, helps us, with producing these shows and monetizing and things like that. We have great shows like, of course, the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. The Scene Snobs Morning Drive live show, which is brand new, but it's on Fridays from 7 to 10 a.m. And then we have other shows pop up like Real Combat, Does It Suck, Geek Fest Live, Scene Snobs Movie Reviews, Plot Roast, and we have more coming.
And then we also have merch. Don't you want to assail yourself of some of the finest finery ever, anywhere, perhaps historically? Well, pop on over to thescenesnobs.com. You can go from there to our merch store, and you can get some amazing stuff, because I know the morning drive is no good without that mug in the morning.
That's true. And we actually have just to note, we do have tumbler mugs that you can get with our logo on it. There's more available on the site. Go check it out. Guys, make sure you're following us on all social medias, because we do different things. We have different daily videos, stuff like that. Pictures that we are always popping up. Follow us at the Scene Snobs everywhere, or you can follow Casey at Plotimus21 on Instagram, at Casey the Madman on TikTok, at Twitter Night on Twitter. Here's the thing. I want to bug him to change it to one thing, but they're both three great names. So
I love the Twedai Night. Plotimus is pretty much who I am in any game forum, anywhere. It's been Plotimus for years. That was an AOL name that because it still exists, I feel like it has to remain. So I struggle with that. That's why TikTok was like, all right, I'll be Casey the Madman. That works.
Yes,
I can do it here.
Keep it there. Keep it
there. And Twedai Night, Twedai Night, bro. Come on on Twitter. The Twedai Night, it was dope.
I don't want you to get rid of it, because we might need to just make extras for show.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I did think about that, and I have considered actually doing show versions of all that.
So yeah, guys, go follow us there. You can go check us out. We want to say thank you so much for joining in on this fine day. Well, Casey, take your salutations away while I prep something, and then.
Absolutely. I appreciate it as always. Thank you for joining us, and especially for a 3-hour run this morning. I hope we got you all jazzed up for your Friday and prepped you for a wonderful weekend. So make sure to let us know in the Snobs Nation Discord if you have any other bits you'd like us to do, or any other things you thought didn't work. Let us know. Stay in touch. And, hopefully you're tuning into some of the tunes and rocking out and having yourself a great day. So once again, we appreciate you as always. Make sure to take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and be kind to each other.
Yeah, and guys, thank you again so much for listening. If you have anything that you think we want to talk about throughout the week, let us know, because this is a Friday show, and it's 3 hours. We have a lot to fill, so we love topics. Send them to us. Go to the Discord. Send them to our email. Send them to us on social media. We love talking about things. We want to look into it, so we'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So we'll be back next Friday, but we have other things going on. But we do truly appreciate you. Go check out our other shows, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.